Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pick a Side Podcast. My name is Andrew Velez. I'm here with River Brown, John Tortorelli, and Mr. Joel Dels. On this episode, we will be discussing Giannis Antetokounmpo potentially leaving Milwaukee, Jayson Tatum maybe not coming back this season, revelation in Charlotte, LaMelo, Kawhi, Brandon Miller. Wow, who would have thought? The guys are hooping. They're on an amazing heater right now. A little bit more NBA, some buyers and sellers. Gentlemen, episode 549.
Ooh, big episode.
Yo, you know what's Sunday, right?
What?
February 1st.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be together.
You know what that is, though, right?
You're going to be there. You guys are actually going to celebrate a whole week together.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah. I got something coming for you, bro.
Hopefully.
He actually does have something.
Okay.
But we're not going to get it. They won't see it until after we're back from San Francisco.
Are we not recording this episode?
I'm assuming we're going to record
We're
a
going to
pod.
record, yeah, but what I got for you, we'll show it on the show once we're back.
Nice. Did you get me?
What a good friend, Rev. What a good friend.
That's agree. I'm scared, though. It could be anything.
Oh. No, it's good. It's good. It's your month. It's your time.
There we go.
Comes around once a month.
Once a year.
Once a year. Once a month. That'd be so often.
I know you.
But honestly, it would be less if you think about it by
Yeah,
day.
because the month is, what, it's only like 26,
Once
27?
a month or once, man,
26, 27
days.
days, yeah. And once a month is 12 times a year.
You know what, man? You deserve it. You deserve it. Your month's coming up.
I mean,
Big
your
month.
day and month is every year outside February.
You know, that's what I used to like ask my parents. Like, you have a Mother's Day, a Father's Day. There's never like a child. They're like, every day's your day. And
There
I'm
we
like,
go.
that feels like bullshit.
It probably is, because I found one day it was like cookie day. Like, you find these random
There's a day
days.
for everything.
Yeah, you just got to find it, man. You just got to find it for
But,
sure. Think
no-
there's a sex day?
Probably.
Valentine's Day.
Nah, that's love day. It's different.
Sex Day?
Yeah.
I don't want to Google that. You should. I've Googled way worse.
Way worse.
Brother, you
So much.
Brother.
So, in the last 24 hours. So much worse. So much worse.
Yeah,
Well-
yo, John's here.
I was going
John!
to say, John, I'm sure the fans are going to be thrilled about this one. They love when you're here.
They love you.
I love
Shout
when
out to
you're
the
here.
people.
Me too.
It is usually it's a bittersweet thing when you're here. Sweet because you're here. Bitter
No
because
Joel
that means
today.
one of the bros aren't here.
No Joel
Yeah,
today.
no Joel.
First time, long
Happy
time.
birthday, Jess.
Jess.
Birthday, Jess.
Celebrate
Our
Jess's
graphic
birthday.
designer, our
Yes.
editor in some
Good
circumstance,
friend.
Editor-in-chief.
legend of the podcast. So
sure,
send
for
her
sure.
some love in the comments. So no Joel, he's doing his boyfriend duties as he
I
should.
got to tell you, eating each other booty.
I think he's coming back.
They got basically the whole crib.
Well, I
bro.
was
Like,
gonna say, yeah, his mom's gone. So
Maybe they want a little different candles out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like
sometimes you just need to switch it up.
sometimes you just got to hit to the hotel. You got a jacuzzi and that shit. Sometimes like you get
I
free
know
jump
you
on.
get nuts. Get the master. You get a little couch with a living
Do
room.
I like to be whipped.
Huh? You like to be submissive?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
How often? Like
Nah, not like often. Like
20%?
sometimes. Like if it was V-Day,
hold
I was
on,
definitely.
hold on. We cannot just have a conversation about, hey man, Black History Month is coming up. I like to be whipped.
That was crazy.
First
Can
of all,
you please?
First of all,
Can we take this? Has
If I
nothing
ex-
to do with you, Dels.
if I
Be
explain
quiet.
it get worse.
Dels,
I
trust
just-
me. Trust
all
me.
I was gonna say
Nobody
was
including
no
you
kink
in
shaming.
this.
No kink shaming.
I'm not
Whatever he's
shaming
into,
his-
he's into.
If I
Okay.
explain it, it'll get so much worse. I
It's
get
just-
tied up, my
it's
hand behind my back.
It's a bad timing. It's bad
Hand behind
timing.
my back.
What do you mean hand behind your
The
back?
whip is
What's-
black, bro. It's abusive.
Do you have a safe word? What about some candle wax?
No. That's too
What
far.
is
That's too far.
going
That's too far.
on?
Dude, we're grown men.
No.
we doing?
Okay,
We are
fine.
super grown.
Kinks
We're
exist.
30.
I'm fine with this. It's the timing of the kink. Horrendous. Can we
Fair.
acknowledge that?
Fair. I like to get tied up to the bed.
No whipping in February. Is that a rule?
Not
I
for
mean,
me.
ideally, just
Never.
no.
Well, some people sounds like pain is a sexual arousal. And there's nothing wrong with that.
When it comes to kinks and Dels, man,
I won't kink shame.
he's far from a kink
I
shamer.
respect that.
You got to be comfortable in your own skin
I
and
love
comfortable
it.
to express
That's
it.
why sometimes you can't do it with everybody.
No, of course not.
Can't do it
Like
everybody.
obviously, the first couple times you're laying with the girl, you can't get nuts.
Hands tied behind your back though is fake.
We do
insane.
both. Sometimes we do the little handcuff. I'm trying to do. I'm like a policeman, or she's like a policeman. I'm a robber.
Ooh,
But like,
that's
what
hard. That's
position
hard.
are you in where your hands are behind your back,
I'm sitting in
bro?
the chair, and she's like, I'm butt ass naked.
Okay,
sitting
all
in the
right.
chair.
See, I'm not imagining
Now
enough.
she's like riding me, and but like she's not stopping. So I'm like, yo,
I don't want to get demonetized from this
Opportunity.
episode.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's cool though. Like I
Painting
I
a
enjoy
very
my-
vivid picture.
I enjoy my kinks, man.
I love you, Riff.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's funny.
I love my life.
I had as some of you know, I'm an accounting student. I had an internship interview today.
Where's that gonna go?
And it went well.
Oh, let's go.
It was funny because we were talking about the podcast, and my boss was like, "Oh," or soon to be coworker, I should say, for lack of a better term, was like, "Oh, like it's checking out the podcast." I'm just thinking to myself now, I'd be totally appalled for anyone to hear the last 7 minutes.
Oh
like,
yeah, because he's gonna see this like, "Oh, John's on the show. Say less," and we'll click into it.
Let's take a look.
What up? What's his name? How's it going? I'm doing good.
Pretty excellent. If you look at the last 2 podcasts, Rivs has just decided to start on timing.
Yeah.
This episode saying I like to be whipped. Last episode saying if he were to be in jail, he'd have to do something other than give up his butt, and so he'd have to give him head or something.
Yeah, man, I'll stand on that. Yeah, I stand on that. John, what would you rather do?
Oh, you're asking
Yeah, like
context to this?
Yeah, like if you're in jail and strong, we don't care about the color here.
We're
but
losing
strong,
a picture.
6'4" dude.
We are losing all money for this
Listen,
episode.
What would you
I'll be
do?
so real, I only fear God. I dropped a Cedric Coward quality, but it was before Cedric Coward ever said it. I don't really think in this capacity. I don't really put myself in that
Yeah,
lens.
type shit.
A God-fearing man just gonna be like, you know what? Like, I'm not
Just
gonna
going
look
there,
at it in this way.
You going.
Yeah.
you
So
going
I, to be quite honest with you, it just went right over my head.
type shit.
Okay, it's a good
He's
answer.
giving
It's
that.
a very
Elite
political
dodging.
answer.
yeah. Political answer for sure.
There's really no correct answer to that question.
I think it's a complete correct answer.
Well, I haven't thought about
there
the
is
question
there is an
myself.
answer. There's an answer.
If
that
you are not one way,
Riv,
there
you
is
just
an
had the
answer.
courage to say out loud that others may
Bro,
not.
if you are one way, which I think we are,
I mean,
there's only one
actually,
answer.
I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no right way
No, I was
to
gonna say.
Take it.
If you're good at it.
No. There's
Done
no
quicker.
right way for me to
To what?
not accept that, but to
Understand it.
Dells,
Process it.
give credence to this.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
Give more weight to it
There
than
you
it
go.
should have.
You don't want to
Yeah.
think about it at all, like
to move past it.
type
yeah.
shit. Yeah, I feel you.
No,
Listen.
I feel you, John, because obviously I work in the corporate world, and everyone knows about the podcast, but I don't think any of them watch the full length episodes. They definitely see it on like TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram. It always comes up. But yeah, I'm happy they don't watch the full length because definitely say some stuff where I'm like, ideally my boss doesn't hear me saying this. But we're gonna be in San Francisco next week. We're gonna be at Meteor Row. If you guys have any recommendations for bars, food, dispensaries, a place to hang out and
Dispensaries.
chill, let us know in the comments. We're going to be there all week. I know we talked about earlier having a possible meetup or something. We haven't really finalized anything. We'll probably do something really informal. We'll probably do something just
We're
like
at a
at a
bar, pull
bar,
up, yeah.
some calm, just to meet up with all of you guys. But yeah, if you have any recommendations or you're in the area, let us know in the comments or DM one of us. It should be a fun week next week. I'm really excited.
If you do want to see us at the bar, please come the first hour.
We're just gonna black out.
Because after that, I can't dictate what happens.
Yeah.
It should be fun. Should be a great time. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some fans. I obviously was hoping for my Broncos to be there.
There you go.
That would have been very amazing. Get to see Bo Nix in person.
I think we all
Feel a
hope for
little
our teams to
jittery.
be there, you know?
No doubt. I just think that in a perfect world, I get to see my GOAT Nick Bonito in person too.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's why I was like, obviously I picked the Patriots, but I was thinking to myself, if the Broncos win, we at least have one contact we know on Denver that I think would show up.
Viral.
Yeah, I
to
think
be
Nick
like,
Bonino would like do something with us. For
Yo,
sure.
Nick, we're in the city. Let's link.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been box office.
Yeah,
I would have loved it, but is what it is. We'll be back next year.
I actually brought Bo, and I feel like, sorry, dude.
You didn't have to do that.
Sorry.
You did
fucked
not have to do that. That was fucked up. But real quick before we move on to the first topic of the show, shout out to you guys that actually purchased the Pigside hoodie.
Yep.
No longer up for sale on the website. That is now closed. So to you guys that did purchase it, we really appreciate it. Went to a good cause. You guys helped us out to go to San Francisco. We will be having another drop very soon. Like Joel mentioned on our previous episode, we're going to be doing the navy hoodie with the white lettering. A little bit nicer in my opinion. I like this one a lot too. But the navy blue, it's classic. You guys know I love my navy. Maybe an orange one soon. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that one just for myself. But again, to you guys that bought the hoodie, we really appreciate it. But let's move on to the first topic of the show. Now, this topic would have been nice to discuss with Mr. Moran. But I also am interested to hear where your head's at, John, because when we were doing our short form content, you said some things that I agreed with. You said some things I disagreed with. But let's talk about the Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo trade between the Knicks and the Timberwolves. Now, where we stand right now, the Knicks are currently second in the Eastern Conference. Now, for their standards, it's been a relatively underwhelming performance by them this year, but again, second in the conference. As for Minnesota, I think we'd all agree they've been playing some good basketball, solid basketball. They're currently sixth in the Western Conference right now. Now, I ask you, John, we can start with you. Where we stand, did the Knicks outright lose the Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle trade?
You can't really say that there's been an outright result of this move yet because of how new it still is, right? We've only seen a year and a half of these two teams with their new look. I would start off, though, with the Knicks because this was a move trading Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to get better. I feel like at the time, part of it, too, was to cover for Mitchell Robinson's impending injury, missing most of the season because they really needed a center if Mitch wasn't going to be healthy. But they also took on a very big contract in Cat. Someone's making up to $61 million over the next 3 years. And when I look at the value prop this year, last year was a different story. This trade's a tale of two halves. Both teams made the conference finals in year one of success for both teams. But as we've seen this Knicks team, and we've watched their deficiencies and their limitations with their star duo defensively, it is clear to me that a move like this does put a clear cap on the Knicks ceiling. Whereas for Minnesota, Julius Randle's been playing better this season. He's making $20 million less, and you're getting Dante DiVincenzo on top of that. And the Wolves' main goal here was to shed salary, to be able to extend some of their younger guys, be able to extend Naz Reid, and to not hit that second apron burden with their impending ownership questions as to who was going to own the team at the time. So for the Wolves, they've gotten the more value out of this trade. But I also believe it comes down to whether or not the Knicks make the finals with Cat. And right now, I don't feel confident in that unless they are able to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And with the Mikal Bridges trade, I think it's very hard to get enough assets to do so.
Now, I'm not going to say the Knicks lost. That's just an outlandish thing to say, especially considering they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're one of the best offenses in basketball last season. And their goal when making the Karl Anthony Towns trade and the Mikal Bridges trade, to be fair, was to get over the hump of Boston. We want to get past the Boston Celtics because we think that they are the king of the crop. They succeeded. They beat, in our estimation, the best team, at worst, second best team in basketball last year.
Fucking frauds.
Right.
They choked. That's true. You guys gagged. Whether you want to admit it or not, fine. You guys won in 2024.
Hilarious.
You guys gagged last year. But their mission last year was to beat the Celtics.
What'd you do in 2023?
Which team?
The Warriors.
Oh, man.
It's a tough combo. It's a tough combo to have that. The Warriors conversation right now is at an all-time low. However,
It's hard to go back to back.
when it comes to Minnesota,
It's hard to win 4 rings, bitch.
Yeah, well, 2 of them you don't even count.
So, Tiff?
I mean, 2 is still greater than your 1.
We could get 2.
How do
Get
you know
there.
that?
Who wins the championship in the next 5 years? Who's more likely?
we
Boston
get
or
Giannis,
Warriors?
If you get Giannis, they could win this year.
I doubt it.
That's probably also capped too. I
I don't think they're
you
going
guys
to win
can
even
do
if they
it.
get Giannis.
It's okay because you getting Tatum won't mean shit.
We have a better chance still in the next 5 years.
No, we
to
have
win than
Giannis.
y'all. You don't have Giannis.
And this hypothetical, that'd be viral.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be viral. Now, for Minnesota, getting Julius Randle, getting Dante DiVincenzo. Now, DiVincenzo, very good role player, great shooter, shooting 38% from 3 this season, 13 points per game. He's been great. But Julius Randle also has been pretty damn good in his own right. The one variable that you look at Minnesota, and it has been consistent, has been their defense. Julius Randle is by no means a bad defender. I actually think he's a pretty solid defender. They're not overwhelmingly great on defense because of him, though. We know why. It's because Rudy Gobert is a top 2, top 3 defender at worst in the world right now. On top, they just have so many great defensive players, but they're anchored by Rudy Gobert. When you look at the Knicks, they are still a top 3 offense in basketball this year, and this has been, while they've been, for all intensive purposes, a little bit underwhelming. Why do we call them underwhelming? Because they're not first to the Detroit Pistons, who a decent amount of people thought they would be better and come to the season. I feel like the way that people are perceiving the Knicks so far is because, or in a negative light so far, is because Karl Anthony Towns has not been the efficient guy that he was last year. They're not first in the conference. That's it.
Ain't getting first.
That's it. That's the only reason why people look at the Knicks in a negative light. OG Anunoby's been excellent this season. Jalen Brunson, when he's been on the court, has been excellent this season. Mitchell Robinson has been excellent this season. Their bench has played a critical part in their success this year as well, which they had 0 of last year. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is struggling. He's shooting 36% from 3, which is the worst that he shot, I think, maybe ever in his career.
Ain't bad if you're struggling at 36 still.
7'36". Now, when you have set the standard that he has, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's good because he has been consistently known as arguably the best three-point shooter at the big position. Fine. In a terrible down year for him, he's still averaging 20. They're still the 3rd offense in basketball. Did they lose the trade? How can you say that when they went to the ECF last year? I really wish Joel was here because
he would say they lost.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if anybody here is going to say they outright lost.
I don't think, if they lost, I don't know. I think a lot of Knicks fans are fed up with Cat. And I think Joel's fed up with Cat. Because, first of all, the duo of Brunson and Cat is redundant in a sense just because they're both offensive-minded players and they both have real defensive deficiencies for different reasons. But I think Knicks fans are upset with Cat because, yeah, you're not getting any dirty work with him, right? He's going to average a lot of rebounds, but you're not getting any defensive presence, any rim protection or rim deterrence or whatever rim stat you want to say. I think that's why Knicks fans are upset with it because not that you were expecting to get that from Karl Anthony Towns, but that feels like what you need to get over the hump and get to the finals. Because when you look at just the results, you're right, Drew, right? They're second in the East. That was after struggling before this players only meeting. They I forgot what it was like 10 and 12. So it was like
they
9
were
and 12, something
not,
like that.
Yeah.
9 and
They
12,
were
I think
really,
they lost.
really struggling.
Really struggling. They've been playing better though in just the last week or so. But I think Knicks fans aren't really looking at the results right now because they're like, we know the East fucking sucks. Like Boston was supposed to be in a rebuild and they were tied with us in the 2nd seed. Detroit's won. Cleveland has completely fallen off. The Magic have been disappointing. So cool, we're the 2nd seed. But, I mean, look at the East. Like, I don't think there's anything to write home about. Just like you said, they have the same record as Minnesota, who's the 6th seed in the Western Conference.
Yep.
So I just think grand scheme, big picture, it's like, do we really have a chance? Like, do we actually have a chance to maybe make the finals? And even if we get to the finals, we're looking at some dogs over there in the Western Conference that, I mean, you're probably taking 3, maybe 4 teams in the West if the Knicks are just matching up. It's difficult because, number one, the Cat contract is huge. In a couple years, he'll be making $60 million. And I know a lot of the Giannis trades involve Karl Anthony Towns. If I'm the Bucks, I want nothing to do with him. I don't want that contract, and I don't want to be good, so I don't want Cat, who's going to contribute to me winning. So I'm not looking at that as a valuable player for Milwaukee, even though he's still a good player. And it's just for this team, you need to do what the Mavericks did around Luka, which is no defensive efficiencies outside of maybe Kyrie Irving, but even Kyrie by himself is, I think, a fine just one-on-one defender, even though he's small. But that's not what they did. They have great pieces. Mikal, especially OG and Mitchell Robinson, could be just stellar defensively, some of the best at their own position. But the guy that is the 2nd best player on your team that you want to be closing games with and being the most important minutes, it just doesn't work defensively. Like, you saw them get picked apart in that Indiana series, and even moments in the Boston series in Detroit as well. So I think Knicks fans I think you have 2 different groups. I think you have one group that is like, listen, man, I'm 30 years old. We've been asked for 25 years of my life, and we're the best we've ever been, whatever. And then I think you have another group of Knicks fans, which I think Joel falls in this bucket, where it's like, Cat's just not it. Like, Cat's not going to be the guy that gets us over the hump. Cat's not going to be the guy that when we're, holding the finals trophy, that he's going to be the guy that's doing that. And what team is going to be able to take on that contract and all of the deficiencies and issues that come with Karl Anthony Towns? So it's probably too early to say. No, neither team made the finals, right? I think Randall and Cat, in terms of just their level of play, have been somewhat equal over the last couple of seasons. But I think Knicks fans have a right to look at the big picture and say, this isn't going to work.
I think it's interesting. I think first of all, going back to the trade, I feel like both teams made the trades for different reasons. I think New York felt like they can go over the hump with Cat. They can at least get to a couple conference championships, maybe even sneak into the finals. And I also think with Minnesota, it was more about cap flexibility for them. So I think that's why they've obviously gotten probably a little bit more than what they thought they would get was Julius Randle.
Oh, easily.
Dante DiVincenzo, he's like the fakest nice shooter I've ever seen in my life. But he's a good role player. He's
a good role player.
He's so streaky. It's
38%,
funny.
38%.
I feel like most role players are.
He's just so streaky. It's Dante's just weird. He's not a bad player though. He can heat up at any moment. And I think the package they got was solid. And I think Randall's been awesome for them. Granted they've gotten progression from Jaden McDaniels as an efficient scorer. Rudy's great. Naz Reid has been great off the bench, and then Ant obviously keeps improving their game. But I think both teams made it for different reasons, and they both made the finals. I think the process for Minnesota was fine. I think for New York, I get the big picture. I think what's always going to be the issue for me is the Mikal Bridges trade
Easily.
that kind of put them in this tough position where they really can't move off Cat unless it's for a guy like Giannis. But if the Knicks make the ECF again this year, like I'm going to say they failed. No, I think the expectation to win a championship every year, I get some teams for having it. It makes sense. But I also think it's hard to just think if you don't make the championship, it's just automatically a failure of a season. It depends on how you go out, what injuries happen and stuff like that. So it all depends. Like I think last year, objectively, you can say the Knicks failed in a sense. I feel like
I think the opposite.
I
think
think
last
first-
year was a success.
I
This
think-
year would be a failure.
I think the expectation coming out of Boston changed, and that's why you can say they failed. Going into Boston,
good
it was
point.
like Boston should clearly win. After they beat Boston, it's like New York should go to the finals. That's what it is.
To be
so I think
fair-
they
Sorry,
had
Riff.
3 different seasons in which they had 3 different points of expectations.
It's true.
And then, they just got to one, didn't get to this one. So I think it was different for New York where everything changed from throughout the year. But I think this year, you're looking at the East and outside of Detroit, and maybe Boston exceeding expectations, everybody's been struggling. Cleveland's been dealing with their injuries, and if they can't shoot the ball, everything falls apart for them. Orlando's still trying to figure out their offense, although they've been playing a little bit better as of late. You're getting as Anthony Black improvement and Desmond Bane's going back to form. Those are the 2 swing factors. A team like Atlanta just completely said, fuck all this, and I feel like they've looked worse without Trae Young in a sense. And then Miami's Miami. Philly's that one team where if they're healthy for a
They're
7-game
scary,
series, they're scary, but that's the thing. Are they healthy for a
it's
7-game
every
series? So really, like outside of Detroit, and even then it still feels like Detroit, love them to death, probably the best defense outside of OKC in the NBA. They still have a hole at shooting. They still have a hole on that other offensive creator who's going to be that for them. How are they going to figure that out? But even then, they still win games with putrid offense at times. So I can't call anybody a loser yet. I can say it's still a progression to wait and see. I think Minnesota reached their goal, and now they're just continuing to have that success. With New York, if they lose in like the second round this year, I can definitely be like, all right, Minnesota won the trade.
Listen, year 1 with Cat was a big success because he had one of his best seasons, and just being the Celtics in and of itself was one of the biggest surprises in the last couple of years in the NBA. And the reason why people had such high expectations for the Knicks was in part because very few people respected Indiana, because everyone looked at the Cavaliers being decimated in the second round series and didn't give them respect up until Tyrese Halliburton stealing game 1 from the Thunder, and they're going to game 7 against OKC, and people are like, oh shit, this Pacer team's good enough to beat one of the best teams we've seen
But
in
before
recent
that,
memory.
before the season, even before they played Boston, I remember vividly, people were like, all right, they got Mikal. They got OG. They got guys that can match up with Boston. They were putting maybe not on the same level, but they were calling it the team that
Puncher's
could,
chance.
And
yeah,
at
like
this
a puncher's
time
chance
a
for
year
sure.
ago, all of us looked at the Knicks and said they aren't making that step forward that we all expected them,
Yeah,
or
'cause
at least
we
they
were 4-0
expected
against
to
the regular
make
season.
when they got Mikal and when they got
I
Carl
also
Towns.
think our perception on the Knicks in the postseason itself shifted an insane amount of times. You go in, you play the Pistons, you're thinking,
Pistons win with beef stew.
Yeah, that's a great
This
take.
wasn't a pretty series for the Knicks.
He could have swung that
You kind of,
series.
you kind
They had
of
Paul
escaped.
Reed in games.
The Pistons played great basketball every single game. The Knicks were clutch. They were very great situationally. More experienced team is a great way to put it too. They were able to move on. So we're left with the sour image in our minds because they look so shaky against the Pistons that they go up against the Celtics. They beat them. They kind of dominate them in a certain way that now we're thinking you just beat the best team in our eyes. Why can't you go to the finals? So, Riv, you're not too far off. The only reason why I will be a little bit more lax on my usual approach is because it was their first ECF appearance in a quarter of a century.
That's fair.
That's the only reason why I say success You accomplished a mission that you haven't accomplished in a quarter of a century. Karl Anthony Towns played arguably the best basketball of his NBA career. Him and Jalen Brunson were one of the best offensive duos in basketball. And then the Indiana series happened, and you got exposed defensively because neither Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns could play a lick of defense. Now, notice how one player got scrutinized the entirety of the playoffs because of his defense. Mm-hmm. And it's because Jalen Brunson's continuously one of the best offensive players in the game. He's consistent. He's one of the best 3-level scorers in the game. It's Karl Anthony Towns that gets a majority of the heat because sometimes night to night you don't know what player you're going to get offensively.
It's true.
And this year, more than any...
Brunson's also 6 feet, so it's like, yeah.
Very true. Very
Generous
true.
6 feet.
And obviously he's limited to only do a certain amount of things on the defensive side of the ball. But what he can control on the offensive side, he is elite. Yeah. Which is why I can understand fans being upset, disgruntled with Karl Anthony Towns, because you expect more from him and you think that his drive could be a little bit more. But last year, he gave you everything.
I agree.
Yeah, he had some great moments in the Pacers series too.
He did.
If you could read, okay, so we're saying that the Knicks lose the trade. Do you think the Knicks right now, if they could redo the trade, would they? Would they take Randall and Dante back for Cat?
Because Cat's gonna get 50 to 60 million.
He's getting paid a lot.
Years. Like, I think that money is ridiculous. That's the thing. That's the problem. And then the Brunson. Listen, Cat can't defend. Like, he can't. I also think it puts you in a crutch because Jalen Brunson's a dog. Historically, guards don't win.
But it's also one thing that Cat did for Brunson that isn't overly talked about is the spacing. Yeah. Brunson's ability to get to the cup now that Julius isn't around or near the basket. That's huge. That you have to actually allow you're forcing the big to come out because you have to guard Karl Anthony Towns. Now, this year, Karl isn't shooting his normal clip. Fine. But last year, we saw the impact that he had, the gravity that he had, and all these centers being forced to play at least somewhat respecting outside the paint. And Brunson, we know, is an elite finisher at the cup.
Yeah, this year though, with Mitch healthy, I mean, they're closing with Mitch sometimes,
which makes
over
sense,
Cat,
honestly.
You know, so
he really's been great.
You get the spacing with Cat at the 5, but Mitch is right. He's one of the best rebounders in leagues.
You're right.
Great rim protector. So
fair point.
It kind of takes away from it. I don't know. It's tough for New York. I think because Rib, I disagreed a bit in terms of if they go to the ECF this year, it's a success, and then they lose, I think it's a failure. Like, if you go to the ECF and you lose to Detroit, and that's not taking anything away from Detroit, who I think is great. Obviously, the 1 seed for a reason, but it's like, I mean, that's a series. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have just as good of a chance than we said it last year against Indiana, and maybe it was on us for not giving Indiana enough respect going into that series, because obviously they took care of business, and then who knows what happens if Hallie stays healthy in Game 7 of the finals. But yeah, I mean, you're telling me beginning of the season you have a matchup with Detroit in the ECF and you lose, and last year you had a match with the Pacers in the ECF and you lose. So I feel like if you go back-to-back years where you're going into the Eastern Conference Finals saying, like, this is anyone's game. Like, we think we have the best player, as great as Cade is. Like, Jalen Brunson's right there with him, and all the inexperience that Detroit has. And I don't know. I think a lot of Knicks fans shouldn't, and it'd feel like a bit of a failure. It feels like a missed opportunity because each year, we said it last year, we're saying it this year, but it's like, is it going to be easier next year, right? Like, if Boston's healthy, if Cleveland, they're a whole different issue, but I don't know. This feels like a prime opportunity for the Knicks to at least get to the finals. If they get to the finals, they lose to OKC, they lose to Denver. It is what it is. You got to the finals, but at least get there.
Yeah, okay. A lot of it is based off the landscape of the Eastern Conference. We knew when Jayson Tatum and Tyrese Haliburton tore their Achilles, the Knicks were going to have an even better chance this season to take that next step forward. And then we watched the Cavaliers this year not have the same synergy. So it really is, in a sense, the Celtics without Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading this elite offense. The Pistons, which are still not the most experienced team. They showed last year their battle tested. They showed their toughness last year. Yeah, it's shooting. It really is the spacing. And they're still the first seed. And then it's the Knicks. So if there's ever going to be a chance to make the NBA Finals, their percentage odds of making it this year, they're going to be higher.
Oddly enough, New York, Boston, Toronto, and Cleveland had the same wins.
Yeah, I know they're tied for second. And eventually, I mean, this money's going to be due for all these guys. You paid McCall, you paid OG, you paid Brunson. I know he took a discount. Some of these guys didn't. You paid Cat, so it's like you got good bench players this year and Jordan Clarkson. So yeah, it's tough, man.
Cat will be a top 10 paid player in the NBA next year.
Cat and OG are at $100 million.
When Giannis and Jokic get their extensions, and maybe Anthony Davis, he'll probably go from the 8th to 10th or 11th highest paid player in the NBA.
I think you make a good point, John. The minute that Tatum got injured, the minute that Halliburton got injured, there was such a wide open door for the New York Knicks, and everybody thought that this was, if not this year, when were you going to make it to the finals? So I can understand that being a fear for New York Knicks fan. Now, unfortunately, Jayson Tatum did get injured in that series versus the New York Knicks. People think, what if Jayson Tatum never got injured? Do the Boston Celtics come back in that series? Now, recent report came out from Chris Haynes that Jayson Tatum was weighing out his options, and where it was rumored that he would inevitably at some point in time come back this season. It's looking as if he is going to not come back. According to their odds on his odds on Polymarket, right now there's a 46% chance that Jayson Tatum will play a game this season.
And that was at 70. Wasn't that a lot higher?
I was going to say before the Chris Haynes news, it was almost a foregone conclusion. He was going to play at some point. The Boston Celtics were playing elite basketball. Jaylen Brown's playing the best that he's played in his NBA career. Celtics are a top 2 offense in basketball right now. Top 3 seed, tied for the best record, or tied for second best record in the East. When's Jayson Tatum coming? This is an inevitable demon waiting to be awoken. And now we're kind of sitting now thinking, is he going to come back at all? I'm kind of now on the side that he's not coming back. Like, why would Chris Haynes report this one if he wasn't fed direct information? That's kind of how I'm at, especially with history of what Chris Haynes has brought forth to us. Seems like his reporting is very player driven. Players are very comfortable with Chris. Not saying that Chris is a very respected source in NBA, which is why I even feel more strongly about this. But I don't think it was wise in the first place for Tatum to even rush the rehab process to potentially come back this year. I can understand as a Celtics fan, the Celtics were cooking. But with all due respect to you, Joel, even though I did tell you that I was shocked that you weren't higher, this Celtics team was always talented. It was always going to be led by one of the better coaches in the league in Missoula and one of the better players in the game in Jaylen Brown. Now, Derek White has had his ups and downs. I take my victory laps when he plays good, but he has his ups and downs. That's what he's been this season.
He's going to be inefficient all year.
It's unfortunate. It's bothering me to a certain extent, but
It hurts.
his defense.
His defense is good.
His defense is amazing. Genuinely incredible. But the way that the Boston Celtics have been able to been so successful without a consistent big man, or without a reliable big man. Listen, respect to Kate.
Mario Williams been getting some burn.
Yeah.
He started a couple of games ago.
Shout out to Luka Garza.
Yeah,
They're just trotting out who can give him the best.
But I say all that to say there was really no need to rush Tatum back. He's your franchise. He's the pillar. He's the backbone. God forbid you put him out there too early and he re-aggravates. Now this is another season down the drain. Because as good as the Celtics are, without Jayson Tatum, this is not a team that I think can go to the championship. Definitely don't think this is a team that can win the NBA championship. You need Jayson Tatum. So to rush him back, I was always on the side against it. But if Tatum tells me he's going to come back, I'm going to obviously respect what he's saying, and I'm going to be a guy that thinks if Tatum's back, Celtics can do it, because that's who he's shown you to be, and you have to respect the Celtics when he's on the court.
Yeah, the timing of the report was just a little weird to me because the Pivot podcast came out with him on it, and he had quotes, and one of the quotes he was saying was, I think Ryan Clark asked him about just returning this season. He's like, yeah, if and when I come back this year, these guys have played 50, 60 games together. Like, how do I fit in with this team? And obviously Tatum has played with the majority of these players for his whole career, Jaylen Brown, White, Pritchard, and all of these dudes. But they're playing so well right now, right? Top 3 seed in the East. I think they're tied right now with New York for second. Is that, if you come back, you're not putting Tatum in the corner and just being like, all right, Jaylen, keep doing your thing, right? No. It's going to go back to kind of their 1A, 1B situation that it has been for the last few seasons. So the timing of the report was just a bit weird because it felt like and Chris Haynes obviously has great reporting, and I do agree. It usually comes from the players, but it's like it came out basically simultaneously of the reporting come out. So it's like, did someone see the podcast and then check with someone, and then someone said like, yeah, I don't know. There was another report that came out from ESPN, and Tatum basically said like, I can only come back once. I want to make sure it's right. And I get that, right? There should never should he be rushed.
It's a funny quote,
right? Like, never should he be rushed, right? If he's not 100%, don't play. But the expectation, even in fair or not, was he got the surgery so quick. He got this new bridge surgery, and we've seen players come back in 6 to 9 months from the Achilles that made it seem like he'll be able to come back at 100%, you know, maybe not explosiveness wise, but in terms of no re-aggravation sometime during the season, probably after the All-Star break. But I think Poly Market has it right. I think it's a coin flip right now. If you would have asked me a week ago, I'd have been like 70-30, 80-20, he comes back. I feel pretty confident. Mazzulla did say that he hasn't any like setbacks or anything, which was my first concern when I saw this report. But yeah, it's a little weird because it seemed like everything was going great. It was trending. You had the videos of him in front of the media, dunking, doing all this. It's like, oh, he's coming back. Give him another month. And then this feels like it came out of the blue. It pops up a Wednesday at like 10 p.m. and there was no other reporting that came with it really. So obviously what matters for the Celtics is getting Tatum back at 100%. And if that means having to wait the season and then the offseason to make sure he's really right, and you got to hope that, you know, he gets back to close to the explosiveness that he had, that's what matters the most. But for Boston, like this is a team that can go to the ECF this year. You know what I mean? Like this team that they're finished with the 2nd seed and they don't see Detroit or New York in the 2nd round. Like sure, they can get to the ECF and then who knows. But it's also a roster that I agree it's not going to win a championship, you know. So it's a tough situation.
I tell you what, you got to love the open gym videos because when that video came out, the people thought that it was
his odd shot 84%.
No, he was over 85%.
Yeah.
When that video
was
came
always
out.
wishful thinking because to see a player tear his Achilles and come back less than a year later, it's one thing if it's a player like Kobe or I think it was Wesley Matthews
Cam
or at
Akers-
the end of their careers.
Cam Akers kind of showed why you should not do
He
that.
came back in like
the
5
same
months.
year.
Yeah.
The same. I'm bugging.
He tore it like
Yes.
the last day of July and came back
Came
for
out
the Super Bowl. Yeah.
That's insane.
But for a player that's 27 years old to come back, you know, he tore his Achilles in the middle of May. To think that Tatum will come back 8 or 9 months later, to me, was always wishful thinking because he has the rest of his career. And I look at Kevin Durant, who came back from his Achilles tear. I think him and Dominique Wilkins were like the two guys that came back just as good, and in KD's case, better. But KD missed a much longer period of time to fully recover. And like you highlighted, this Celtic team this year is playing with house money, and they've clearly found this identity in the brief kind of non-Tatum gap year to where I would rather just roll it out and give Tatum all the time in the world to fully recover. And then next year, you integrate him in training camp and you get him to fully recover and then come back into the lineup. And I think that's the best thing for the Celtics. But then again, I think, you know, I'm not a medical expert. If the Celtics think, and, you know, based off of every single person that's working with Tatum closely, that he is 100% and you win a first round series and it's been 11, 12 months, then I think it starts to become a different conversation.
You would have him come in the playoffs though.
That's tough.
It's like
man.
at that point it feels like, all right, maybe just shut
Who
it
are
down.
they playing? Like I'm not putting them out there if they play Detroit.
Like I
round
would
two.
want to play like
Playing
at
the
least
Knicks
10
in the
games of
second
the
round.
regular season.
And it's been 11 months after Jayson Tatum tore his Achilles.
You play who?
You're playing the Knicks 11 months after. Then I think it's a little bit of a different
I'll
First
be
matchup
honest,
against
he could be
OG.
playing anyone. Respectfully,
Yeah.
you're telling me he's good to go. I got the green light. I'm putting him
I'm just
out
saying,
there.
like the 2-3
don't know.
matchup they play the Knicks.
Like
Yeah.
I'm saying this as a guy who is like, okay, this is your franchise. If you're telling me
That's
I'm
tough.
good to
it depends on who
go,
they play. I'm not putting them out there in a nasty physical matchup first, like after
They would
11, 12
probably play
months.
Detroit in the
Okay, I get
conference
that.
final.
You know what I'm saying?
I get
Like,
that.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
Yeah, if they finish 2, but they're tied for 2 right now. Detroit's gonna be 1. So if they finish like if it's 1-8, 4-5, 3-6, if they finish, they drop maybe to 4 because Toronto's also on their ass. Then it's like you go into a round 2 matchup, Beef Stew, Jalen Duren, like them boys.
Sarge most likely going to be playing defense.
Yeah, I
round
think
two,
it's just
Ron Holland combo.
a too physical series to start off. Like I think he got injured in May last year. He should not play until October 2026, start of next year. I think
I get
that's a
that.
good time frame to get right. You know your body. You can be 100% healthy, but you can't. Like I still feel like there's 100% basketball healthy that you got to
Yeah.
get to. You know,
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure, for sure.
that's that first month or 2, and I think he should use the regular season early on to get acquainted back into things. You
That's
know,
a better point.
yeah, that's what I think. I think you guys have been having a great season. use this as a year to just get these young players right in the playoffs. You know,
Yeah, I
Jordan
mean,
Walsh,
yeah, the young players look
Hugo,
good.
Peyton more run in the playoffs and stuff like that. Jaylen Brown, he can do his thing. And if you lose in the first round, you lose in the second round, it doesn't really matter because, you know, your main goal is be ready for next year to go win the title.
You saw the trade that the Clippers shot down? Simons, an unprotected first, and a swap.
Yeah, it was not enough. If you can get more, I feel
For
like you can get
Zoo?
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a decent offer.
Simon's been hooping.
I feel like you can get more.
A first, Simons, and
a swap.
that's good.
It's
Two
all right.
firsts?
What does the Celtics first really look like?
That's a
It
good
depends.
point.
Yeah, it depends what year. I mean, even still, like,
That's a
unless
good
it's like
point.
2035.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Even-
Simons, you're not paying him. So
This was
you
a
just-
gap year under the third seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, the Clippers aren't their pick. They
Mhm.
kind of fake have to, like, just be like, win.
Yeah, you're right, Riff. Under like typical, like my way of thinking the Celtic team, there's no sense of rushing Tatum back.
I just
it
know
makes
that,
the most
yeah,
sense
and
to
then
get
like
back. And
team
start
wise, they
the
don't
regular
have
season.
the front court for it. I feel like they're
Yeah.
still like Keita,
He was-
Luke.
he's been playing well.
No, they're good like players for 82 game season, but
Yeah.
like
Once
onto
you get in the
playoff,
playoffs,
it's
it's
tough. Yeah, I don't. That's putting a lot on them, and then you got to play small ball, and it's just like
It does give you another offseason to reset because this past
So-
one was just about getting out of the second apron, getting out of the Drew contract, the KP contract, letting Luke walk. So you were going into the season kind of with a makeshift roster. And I mean, to be honest, most of the guys have hit, right? The young guys, like you mentioned, Walsh, Hugo, have looked great. And then Keita too. And then
Tim Hauser's been one of the best shooters. in
yeah,
the
Hauser
league.
started off a little slow, but now he's back shooting his 40% like he has every single year since high school. Garza has been solid. Mark Williams these last few games have been good. So it makes sense. It was just like more of a developmental year, which is what we were expecting. But I'd be lying if I wasn't a little disappointed. And that's not
course,
saying
that's
like
a fan.
that's not like saying like Tatum, come back, I need you back. But yeah, I mean because everything was just so positive. Like obviously tear your Achilles, it's terrible. But everything was so positive after it's like, oh, he had the best surgeon. It was 24 hours. There was this, and this. So you get this anticipation
I
that
feel like
he's
he's
gonna come
rushing
back.
it.
He could be, but
I feel like he's rushing
Did this
himself.
not make you think that there was a setback?
that's what I thought too. But Missoula, I think it was today or yesterday, said like, no, there's no setback. He's
Yeah.
been fine.
It does make you feel like that though. But I feel like
That
he
was my
so,
immediate
He was
reaction.
so not. I don't want to say pressed, but he was so excited and anxious to play. Like I'm ready. I think he was pushing a little bit on the FO to like, yo, I want to get through this fast. I want to get this shit done. You know. And I get it too. Rehab is probably terrible. Like it's probably you can't do like normal day to day
horrible.
shit with it. Yeah. So it's probably like I'm done with this shit. I want to get it done as fast as possible. I think Tatum, with the way he's been talking, he wants to get on the court faster than what they want to let him do. And I think he should follow the FO's plan. Like, yo, we're good. We know we can win with you. Get right next year.
The Celtics are also notorious for keeping things in house and not, revealing everything
That's
to the
fair.
public.
I will say, I love where their heads at with Zubac. Like at minimum,
That's a good
if you're going to try
For sure, make
and
a call.
salvage a
tried.
season, I think that a move like that
And it's Simons.
at
You're not going to pay him.
You're not because I think that your foundation at the guard position
Yep.
is already set. It's Derek White, some variation of Derek White, Payton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, and then of course when Jayson Tatum comes back, he's going to be on the ball. But that's really what ideally where your head's at. But another player who unfortunately has had to deal with some injury has been in the news for other reasons. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Seems as if they're finally reaching the point where they're willing to hear teams' offers, and it looks like we may be having the end to the Giannis Antetokounmpo tenure
time.
in Milwaukee. Now, this segment's also brought to you by Polymarket. The people believe there is a 44% chance now that he will not be traded. Remember, this was at 70 the last time we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the calf injury?
No, this is not traded, not played. This is to be traded. They think that for him to not be traded, 44%. This is again 70%.
I think it was a report by the Bucks where they was like they're willing to be patient with the process
Yes.
and wait to the off season.
And Giannis was adamant, like, I'm here to stay. So I ask you, one, do you think Giannis Antetokounmpo will be traded? And if you do believe he will, what team do you think
I like this.
will sign him? Now, I will say the teams that have the best chances or the highest percentage according to the people. The Warriors are number one at 17%. tied with the Miami Heat at 17% as well.
Put them in just
It's always Miami.
always
That is
Miami.
that is. You want to lose money? Miami. Number 3, the New York, not financial advice. The New York Knicks are at 12%. Somehow, some way, my Lakers are here at 3%.
Lakers are like the Heat.
We actually get players.
You do.
Yeah,
But
well,
you're also in every trade.
We
talk.
got Luka.
You are.
Okay, you can
doesn't
never.
count.
No, he gave you. Luka.
We got Luka and we got AD and LeBron.
AD. It always feels like when some player says we want to go to LA, it's like, all right,
Done.
done. Yeah, so people
So
got to
it's
come
Well,
in.
you did. You had pieces to give.
You had so much.
Now
They
you
gave
don't.
up
You don't have
the
pieces to
entire
give.
treasure chest.
Yeah, facts.
Except
AD was
Kyle
like
Kuzma.
that.
Would you trade Luka for Giannis?
Yes.
I'm nuts for saying yes.
I will.
No.
I'm not nuts.
No, I think Luka's younger.
Luka's 5 years younger.
And he
Am I
also-
nuts for saying
is it
yes?
just
Giannis?
five?
You're the objective non-Luka hater. Am I nuts?
I wouldn't trade Luka for Giannis. I don't think you're nuts for saying
Okay,
that.
thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, nuts, no, but
And
half
also
inch is
tied with the
scary.
Lakers or the Rockets at 3%. So, Riv,
Hey.
I will start with you.
what's the Warriors package?
Bullshit.
It's nonsense because it's straight up Jimmy
terrible.
Butler, Jonathan Kuminga.
And
It's
as
like
many
five.
picks they can give.
Here's the thing.
Ain't no
First of
one
all,
want pods.
first of all, you telling me, brother? I know. Like,
Riv would carry him on his back to Milwaukee to get
Yeah,
buzzed
he
off
would
his
Did
go
that-
to
did
Golden
that
State,
video
come back to Jersey.
Of
or
Draymond
Milwaukee,
Green,
drop off.
Klay Thompson, Curry laughing at pods make you so happy?
yes, bro. He's the ass, bro. It's awful. Does like real cool shit sometimes, but he's really terrible.
Sometimes he does have motion.
Yeah. Listen, I think Giannis. I've been saying this for like 2 years, brother. You deserve a statue in Milwaukee. Your jersey retired. You're going to the Hall of Milwaukee Fame. You know, you are the greatest Milwaukee Buck player ever. You've done it all. Don't be like a Dame. Don't wait too long to leave. Leave when you still are at the best of your game. You've been injured a good amount of times this year. Like a good amount.
the
More
last
than
few
most.
years.
Yeah, and a lot of it is, I believe, calf injuries for most
Terrifying,
part.
actually.
So those are, for your size, your game, a calf injury is brutal.
Yes.
I want to see Giannis play at his best in key high leverage moments, important moments. Now, where should he go? Of course, you guys think I'm going to say my Warriors. And I do think he should come here. But I also don't think we have to, like, if you think 4 first round picks after the Steph era makes sense, cool. But then again, I look at it from, I'm taking my fandom out of it. Look at it from a Golden State perspective. You send out those 4 first. What gives you the incentive Giannis is going to stay? Which means now Giannis probably walks down the road. Steph is gone. Dre is gone. You're probably going to get $100 million in cap for sure. But now you don't have any picks. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck with no real young players that you've built up. Maybe pods. Wow. So, you know, like stuff like that. I just think you put yourself in a pigeonhole. But if you want to do right by Steph, you're going to make the fucking deal in a heartbeat. You don't even think twice about it. Now, I think Giannis should stay out east. I do. I think going out west, kind of, unless you're going to OKC, kind of pigeonhole. Or maybe San Antonio too, for sure.
Say.
But I feel like you, Wemby, you've had a couple injuries, a little bit annoying injuries throughout the year, but I still think that duo would work. I think if you want to go to San Antonio, yeah. But I think a team that I saw that was real interesting. I looked at a couple teams. A teams like Toronto was extremely interesting. It kind of fits that dynamic. Might not have the offensive creation like you want in a half-court setting in the playoffs. But the last time the Giannis won a championship, they was one of the best defenses in the league, and they were middle of the pack offense. So it can get done with a Giannis-like defense. I don't think he's the best defender anymore, but I think a guy like Scotty Barnes has been awesome on that end.
Elite.
I think Toronto builds that type of reputation, Jamal Sheed and guys like
Good on
that.
you for giving Scotty flowers, bro.
For sure. The defense I'll never take away. That's
He's
one thing.
been legitimately
That's
first team All NBA good
for
this
sure.
season.
Unless they
He's
unless
the
they
defensive player of the year conversation.
unless they neck
Agreed.
With
bigs,
Wemby not being.
he should be
They're
on it.
gonna, but he
For
should be
sure.
first team All defense.
For sure. I think a team like Charlotte was interesting to me. It really was. Because I don't think they have to give up the treasure. I
But
don't.
they don't have the contracts to make
They
it.
do.
do.
Miles Bridges
Who?
works.
They're
Miles
number 3 all-time
Fair.
leading scorer,
Josh
Colin
Green,
Sexton.
that too.
Good
Josh
throw in
Green
there.
makes 12 mil.
That's
Grant
an
Williams
all-time
makes 12 mil. I
But
think
it's a lot of bullshit.
no, I think Bree Miller has to go. Genuinely.
Yes.
I think it's gonna
You
have
have
to
No,
trade
Brandon
one
Miller
of
is
the
not
3.
bullshit. But like the Josh Green, the
Well, I think it's
Best
just to make money
contracts,
work, and then
yeah.
about 4 or
It's
5
I'm with
first
you.
round
but
picks.
how
you know
much
what I'm saying?
isn't Giannis's deal like 60
Miles
M's?
is 25.
Okay.
Then Brandon Miller's gonna be like
18.
10. Sexton's
Okay.
18. Josh
Okay.
is 12. And I believe Charlotte has like 10 million in cap.
Okay.
So they can make the money work.
Listen, I told you. My bags are packed if he's
Yeah,
going
and
to
I think
Charlotte.
bringing him in with Lamar, and I get it, the injury stuff, but that would be a cute, nice little Just I'm saying, relax. Let me
I'm
finish,
sorry.
let me
That
That'd be
shit getting me
something. That would be
going.
something under the cover. We're like, oh shit,
There's
Charlotte made a
there's
move.
no undercover.
Dude,
No, I'm sorry. I'm getting worked up about thinking
They
about
was-
Giannis and that team.
look at Poly Market. Charlotte's not even up there. That's what I'm saying.
You're
would
saying
get-
real
That's what I'm
buying
saying. It's a
opportunity.
You're saying
sleeper.
go get some bread
Yes,
right now.
that's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
It's a sleeper
Come
pick.
on.
Nobody's thinking.
Rivers is a good man.
It's like
Good
he was
man.
overreacting,
Talk.
and that's it.
Nah, but I'm just
Another
thinking
team,
like
though.
big picture though. Like
For
big
sure,
picture with
you're thinking big picture when
yo,
he gets there.
high
You gotta
key
get there.
ECF
Yes.
championship.
Yes.
I don't hate it.
I got a sneaky one for you though, Dels. I got a real sneaky one. I got one that might tweedle your tittle.
Okay.
Boston.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh God.
Ooh.
The
What's that
Cleveland
package?
Mobley?
Cavaliers. Garland and Mobley. Now you have Donovan Mitchell. Giannis. Now
I'm coming back home?
Donovan can go to the 2. Now he's a number 2.
Am I coming home?
Giannis is a number 1. You can even throw, if you want to throw Garland and Allen and picks, you can do that too.
Do they
Figure it
have
out.
picks?
It's probably like swaps and shit like that. But I think that's a team that should definitely, probably won't get him. Should definitely call like, yo, outside of Donovan Mitchell, for Giannis, come on.
Is it crazy to want the Charlotte package more?
No, I don't think so.
Um,
But then you have a
Yes, it's
24-year-old
crazy.
Mobley.
Yeah, I'd rather have Evan Mobley and take a flyer on Garland.
Wait,
who's
no.
An All
Mobley
NBA player a
and
year ago.
Garland?
All NBA
Do you,
caliber
do you
player
not
a
just
year
want
ago.
to bottom out this season? Don't they have to pick this year, right?
I think they have.
I-
it might be
all right,
protected.
I
I'll
don't
double
want
check for
to.
you.
I don't want to say this and sound like this is a negative thing about Giannis because it's completely not. You make a trade for Garland and Mobley, it saves the franchise.
What are you doing with Garland and Mobley? And
Here's
nothing
what
else?
it does.
Ooh.
It gives you time.
Atlanta will receive the more favorable of Milwaukee's 2026 first round pick, and
a
Pelicans'
swap?
2026 first round pick, and Milwaukee will receive the less favorable of the
Oh,
two.
so they don't have their pick this year.
They do, but it would just be the less favorable.
Okay, so never.
So they don't have
Yeah,
control over it. Wow.
A trade for Garland and Mobley,
Mobley's such a big.
it saves their
foundation.
franchise solely because of the youth of Garland and Mobley. It at least gives you a window to put pieces around them the way that Cleveland
Tyrese
did.
Maxey, 40 points,
Game winner.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a legend.
What a guy.
He's a legend. First team All NBA. Maybe. Maybe
Hopefully.
not.
God willing.
Hopefully. He
very
deserves.
possible.
He's been hooping that much.
We're nice fans here.
So I say that to say I get what you mean because B. Miller, maybe you still believe, maybe if Joel were here, he'd feel something about this that B. Miller has a higher upside than the 2. I think that that's a bit far-fetched. But let's say you want to go with B. Miller. Yes, that gives you a window as
You
well
have to
because
pay
he
B.
is
Miller
youthful.
right now.
But you would have to sign him.
What are you paying Mobley
I
and
think
Garland, dude?
but
I'd
agreed,
rather
but
pay
at
Mobley.
least I'm getting
Garland, I get it.
DPOY, I'm getting an all-star, and in Garland, I'm getting an all-star. And I've seen a blueprint with Cleveland, albeit Donovan Mitchell addition, but I've seen a blueprint with them where
They'll be competitive.
even without Donovan, they were a playing team.
It'll be competitive. In the East, too.
And I
It'll be
think that
competitive in the East.
in making a reset, there is no better option for Milwaukee.
It's tough because I mean obviously the player Garland and Mobley better than Brandon Miller. You get
So
stability.
let me ask you, before you go into the spiel, because he's thinking Cleveland reset. I'm sure you're thinking, retool. I'm sure you're thinking Charlotte just rebuild. Direction you're in after hearing they don't have they don't have control over their pick.
Yeah.
What's the direction you
Yeah, I mean
go?
obviously they don't have their pick for because the Dame trade.
Yeah, let me see if they have the
I
rest
think
of
even,
them.
They might have Drew.
The Drew shit, they're still
might be-
paying, bro.
He might be paying too. So
To be fair, W trade.
it is, but I'm
They
also
won.
thinking
Okay,
like
so I'll tell you before I'll tell you to give you so
Cut off again, bitch.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. So 2027. Did you get horny? Did you look where I grabbed it?
no, it's close.
So 2027, New Orleans will receive the more favorable of this pick. Milwaukee will receive the less favorable.
So
All
no
right.
pick in 26, no pick. In,
2028. It says this.
How are they allowed to swap in back-to-back years?
I think you just have to have a first.
Wow.
I didn't know you were allowed to
I
swap in
think you could
back-to-backs.
swap in back-to-back. It's just you can't give up in back-to-back.
It's so confusing. So Atlanta will receive the less favorable of the 2 picks if it's 1 through 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's 26.
27.
27.
Oh, there's so much verbiage in those.
And then
those
2028,
picks.
it's verbiage again. I'm
Yeah.
just going to say
well,
that.
and some of these Portland also has a right to swap as well.
2028, Portland's in it, and
Like,
2030,
where the
Portland's
fuck
in
do these teams come
So it
from?
doesn't come. So it doesn't have none of this verbiage until 2031.
So that's when they have just straight. They have their
Just
pick.
the-
Damian Lillard was a big investment. I love the idea.
I don't want to cut Dells off again.
Go ahead, John. It's good. ahead.
I love the
you
idea of
go.
Darius Garland and Evan Mobley to Cleveland. Now they got
Milwaukee.
85 million
Milwaukee.
to Milwaukee from Cleveland. And their salaries are 85 million combined. So in that scenario,
Bobby Portis.
the Bucks
Who's-
the Bucks are going to include Miles Turner in that package to the
right,
Cavs,
right,
and then the Cavs are going to reroute Jared Allen somewhere else. So I love that package
3-team trade.
for
think he
for
stays.
Cleveland, because now you're taking this Bucks front court and pairing that with Donovan Mitchell and Kenny Atkins' offense, theoretically. But my favorite Giannis destination would be the Charlotte Hornets because of the capital that they have. I agree with you. One of their core 3 young players has to get traded,
We know
and
who's
I
it
would
gonna
expect that to be Brandon Miller. That being said, even if you're moving on from Brandon Miller, they're starting to, over the last couple of years, add in these complementary players, guys around the league who have kind of been passed around, but they can still be back end the rotation caliber
kind of guy?
players. You know who I'm talking about?
Brian
I'm
Rollins.
talking about Grant Williams.
Oh.
I'm talking about like, some of these
Diabate.
other players.
Oh, that-
Musa
that-
Diabate
You
has
saw
played
Diabate last night? He
Michigan
balled
product.
out.
He has been playing so well in his role, and you have these
Calipari's
complementary
good, too.
players that. Yeah, Ryan Calipari is another great example. He's been so efficient and productive in his minutes. You now pair him with Giannis of the 4, Concanoopel, who a Concanoopel and
Can
LaMelo
you just
Ball
call him
backcourt.
Knipple, bro? It's Knipple.
Knipple.
Thank you.
Just call him Khan, man.
You could
A
just call him
Con and
Con.
LaMelo
call him
backcourt with
KK.
Giannis.
That
on-
shit is sex.
that is the perfect
What did you
shooting.
just say?
Call him KK. Connor Nipple.
That is the perfect.
Treading.
So close.
Con-
Treading.
Thank you for correcting.
You're
me.
treading, of course.
That's the perfect shooting compliment to Giannis.
You're treading.
And you're also
Easily.
blending that with these
Yeah.
high energy rotation players. And I agree with you in a sense that Giannis out east would be kind of ideal.
But I want to say this. Giannis would work in Charlotte because that is not a reliant pick and roll team. And it's a offense that's going to run fast. We know that. We see the way that Concanoopel plays. The guy's just running around the court nonstop. That's a guy that would fit perfectly next to Giannis. LaMelo Ball, I feel like he would be the one that would have to adjust his game the most. But I think he would have the most fun ever just running pick and rolls, running transition with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And just I think that it would just be so box office. And honestly, it would be Charlotte would finally have the storybook season that they were waiting for when LaMelo got signed. Like when LaMelo got drafted. When LaMelo got drafted and they're year one in the play-in, LaMelo is rookie of the year. They're thinking they're on a rocket ship and they're only going up. They go to the play-in again the year right after. And I think this segues perfectly into our next segment as well, because the Charlotte Hornets have been a revelation this last what, month? 2
Like
months?
15, 20 games, something like that.
They've been playing such efficient basketball. Their offense has been incredible. And it's been in a large part to rookie sensation Concanoopel. I understand the love that Cooper Flagg has received this season, and rightfully so. He's been awesome in a terrible situation. But reality is there has been no greater terrible situation in the last 15 years than the Charlotte Hornets.
Pelicans?
In the conversation in the short group.
I'm playing with you.
But year after year, they get injured, and you can't rely on LaMelo. You can't rely on Brandon Miller to stay healthy. And that was the idea. Brandon Miller, LaMelo, this was going to be the starting pieces of building something. But it really wasn't LaMelo. It wasn't Brandon Miller. Concanoopel's come in and been one of the best shooters in the league immediately. I think quite easily he's been the best rookie. He's been the most impactful rookie. And it's been translated into Hornets basketball. He's been incredible. The offense has been just extremely quick, extremely fast, very free flowing. You see the movement that they have. And Brandon Miller, I need to give him his acknowledgement over these last 8 games. He's been playing at probably the highest level we've seen in his NBA career.
Yeah.
70% true shooting. He's been just finding his stride, and we're finally seeing this trio healthy at the same time. or sorry, I say this trio healthy at the same time because I'm really talking about Brandon Miller and LaMelo. We're finally seeing the two of them together on the court consistently, but with the addition of Knicks, it's just made this offense so much greater. And when you have another guy that can create in Knicks, it just makes basketball so much easier for LaMelo Ball, who's had such a strong lack of spacing for these last few years. As a guy who's loved Hornets basketball because of LaMelo Ball strictly, and coming into the season, I wasn't the highest on them. Obviously, I thought that it'd be a 3-man race for last between them, the Wizards, and the Nets. I'm so thrilled to be wrong because LaMelo Ball deserves this. He was a one-man band for the last 5 seasons, and he's been injured, and it's been unfortunate we haven't been getting to see him consistently play basketball. But this year, when he's on the court, he's been very deserving of what's been transpiring. And a perfect counterpart in Knicks, where now you get B. Miller playing his best. And if you get an opportunity to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, we're talking about a legitimate team that has real depth, real shooting. And you need that defensive piece. And I'm not going to disagree with you. Yes, Giannis isn't that same defender that he once was. But Jesus Christ, could you ask for anything more?
Yeah.
You really can't. So this is the best Hornets basketball we've seen in a long, long time. And there's still room for growth.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've been playing super fun. Their offense has been electric, just from LaMelo to Khan to B. Miller working really well in the pick and roll and just being able to pick his spots. You know, you got guys like Colin Sexton, Miles Bridges, even like you mentioned, Grant Williams having being that
hasn't
dirty
even played,
worker.
but I feel like he could.
Being that little dirty work type guy. I think Charlotte, it's interesting because they're climbing right now. They're getting back into the play-in race, and I think that's super dope. You needed some competitive edge from them. You know, you needed something to show that this team isn't, you know,
to not give up.
Yeah, and I think credit to Charles Lee too.
True.
He's also lit a fire under these guys. And you can
Missoula
just see, even when they have bad shooting nights, you can see the defense kind of still be a fight in it. You know, still get on the glass and be aggressive and be physical. And I think even like a guy like LaMelo, who has been knocked to being a poor defender, when he's having poor shooting nights, you can see the effort on defense hasn't lacked. Like, this team has flipped the switch for sure. They've been fun to watch, and of course, the conversations are going to be a little different with Brandon Miller. You're going to have to extend him soon. Khan's been, you know, their most consistent player out the big three. LaMelo's still your electric point guard. And what are going to be the things you can get to fit around those guys? Even Saliwan, for every here and there, has been having a good game here and there. So this team is just, you know, getting that fire lit under them. It's interesting because I thought they'd have a top 5 pick. Now they probably won't. You know, they'll probably be hovering around 10, 12, 14, 15-ish. Where do they move? I do think they're an offseason away from, you know, making the playoffs or even being a top 6 seed. The East is volatile. Like, it's not, you know, obviously the Cavs, Knicks last 3 seasons, Boston and whatnot. But still, you're always going to have that one team. We had Detroit prior. It was last year. You had Indiana. Like, it's always that one young team, Toronto this year, that kind of jumps back out the blue and play really well, you know, and kind of catch teams by surprise. Charlotte Hornets is going to be at the top of everybody's list.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Drew, you said it. Just getting this team healthy, because whether it was LaMelo or Brandon Miller in recent years, Mark Williams when he was on the team, that trio that they had for so long were always super talented, but could never just stay on the court together. And they've been able to do that, at least for the last, you know, month or so. But they've been doing it against comp. You know, they smoked the Lakers, they smoked Denver, Orlando, Memphis. But either way, they beat Utah by like 60 points. So it's not like they're just going out there and beating the Wizards and Nets every night. They've been doing it against some really good competition, especially when you just talk about their standards and where they currently are. But we talked about, you know, a guy like Diabate who comes in, has been an awesome rebounder for them, really good on the glass. And you get the sexiness from LaMelo and Knippel and these guys. And it's crazy to think, like, you know, during draft time, I know plenty of Hornets fans were excited about a guy like Ace Bailey potentially. And he's starting to figure it out in Utah, so not a slight to him, but just the Hornets, who have been infamous for making the wrong draft selection, unfortunately. Of course, LaMelo's looking great now, getting through his injuries. Brandon Miller getting through his injuries. And then Knippel's the first guy probably since LaMelo where you'd be like, holy shit, rookie, snap your fingers. He's been an instant impact, one of the best shooters in basketball. I do still push back a little bit for the Giannis trade, just because I want to let this marinate a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they've had a great January. It's been fucking awesome. You know, especially Charlotte's fan. This is probably the most fun they've had in some years. I just want to sit and wait before you give up your entire future for Giannis and go all in on this move. Just because, like, Giannis doesn't come without questions, right? You're trading for a guy who's 31, 32 years old,
yeah.
all these calf and lower body injuries. How is his game going to age? I think just a lot that goes into a decision like that. And it's when I look at like the best team that's rebuilt over the last few years, it's been the Thunder, who traded Paul George and got this young player in SGA and draft picks for the next, basically spending 15 years, it feels like, with all of these swaps and unprotected picks. And I just worry a little bit about the Hornets trying to make an all-in move. And we talked about it, Poly market has them super low, so it doesn't seem like at least the public thinks they're going to make that. But for right now, I think Charlotte fans just have to just continue riding this wave. You know, this is a team that's been super fun, especially offensively. You get these crazy highlight plays and just young, exciting players that you could, you know, talk yourself into like, what does this big three look like for a couple seasons if we're able to stay healthy? But that's just the biggest concern, right? Because obviously LaMelo and Brandon Miller specifically have had so much injury history over the last couple of seasons. But yeah, right now, I mean, it's hard to find a team other than Charlotte that's playing as good basketball as they have in January.
You make a great point because we really haven't seen this trio play much at all. And Con Knipple is the perfect connector. Someone who's not just this elite shooter, but someone who fills in the cracks, adds that playmaking, that connected passing, and he kind of opens up the game for both LaMelo and Brandon Miller in a way that they haven't had that previously. So I do tend to think that the Raptors are the sleeper here. The team that has these oddball contracts with players that don't entirely fit in. Maybe you're giving up an RJ Barrett and you're adding to all of these young players that they have to consolidate that depth. So Brandon Miller for Giannis, yeah. For as good as he's been.
That's the thing when you think about trades, and I think it was funny because was it earlier this year or last year, talking about trading, it feels so long ago, but I think it was this season, trading Jalen Johnson for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, that was this year.
And Atlanta fans were like, we can't give up Jalen Johnson. I'm just like, you got to realize this is all-time great. We're talking about top 20 player in the history of the game.
Top 30 for sure.
At some
There, right?
top 20 in the history of the game.
I just said that.
Trey and
Top
Giannis
20.
would have been a great
Top 30 is. Yeah.
Top
fit
30 does encompass
in the
top
pick and
20.
roll.
Yeah.
So top 30 also encompasses top 1.
Name a player in the top 20. Name a player in the top that 21 to 30 that has an MVP and DPOY in the same year. Name one of those players that also has 50 in a closing game in the
Dude,
finals.
I don't understand the frustration.
No, you're violating, and it's annoying me.
top 30.
Violating. Top 30 ain't good enough, Giannis.
Never-
Over a million
Nevertheless-
players in the NBA say he's top 30. I'm violating.
I'm sorry, that went right over my head. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know what,
angry,
what
bro.
he,
Is Giannis top 20 or top 30?
all time?
Yes.
He's top 25.
Well, look,
Top
you're gonna get upset-
20?
You're gonna get upset at him?
I'd say top 23.
Top 20 is a little bit tough. You got some
He's
players.
top
in
30
there.
because he's top 20.
Now here's the thing.
I would say top 20, Drew.
I think. Thank
I would
you.
say closer.
I
to,
think
he's
Kawhi-
definitely
I
closer to
agree,
top
for
20.
sure. That's what I said. Are you getting rage?
No, top 30 is very low. Yeah, no, top 20.
You're making me mad.
I have to look at my list though.
Because I think Kawhi Leonard's a top 25 player all time. So like, I think
I don't know.
I do firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. I
I didn't
mean,
believe that before the stretch.
that's. I've been very vocal. I'm taking him over Scotty pretty
put that
I don't
easily.
think
Yes.
Scotty's top 25 though.
She's close.
Probably like top 30.
Even this top fucking 30.
Top 30.
Can I
is
put that to the test?
Which one?
Kawhi top 25 all time.
Sure.
We're here.
LeBron James.
Of course. Just rattle the easy ones.
Michael
Rattle the
Jordan.
first there.
Kareem.
Skip
Bill
to like
Russell.
15, dude.
No. Tim Duncan. Magic. Larry. Kobe. Hakeem. And Shaq. That's
Of
10.
course.
All right.
Steph. Wilt. Dr. J.
Wilt.
KD. Jerry West.
Yes. He's out of the NBA.
Respect.
Nikola Jokic.
Oh, wait. What? Wait. Stop.
Jerry West.
Okay.
Respect
I got
the
to respect the low.
history.
Respect low. Jerry West is
Nikola
high.
Jokic.
Wait, is this your list?
He's just rattling players. I'm fine with
I
this.
do have a list.
He didn't rattle off Jerry West.
Wait,
Like
no,
this
this is
he's
a list
got.
you
No,
have
I
already?
do have a list.
Yeah, he
Oh
didn't
my
just
God.
rattle
Is
off.
this your list?
Jokic isn't.
It is my list.
Jokic isn't under Jerry West. with
Jerry
all due
West is
respect.
high on your list.
I'm gonna be honest. Give me Jokic over Wilt already.
Where's Bob Cousy?
No, I have Jokic at 13.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have Jerry West at 15. Giannis.
Okay,
Jerry West 15.
that's high, but I'm fine with it.
He's not even top 5 point guard.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
leave it.
Yeah, he's a top 5 point guard of all time. You're capping. You're capping.
Is he
bro.
top 5?
Yes, he is.
I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Who's your top 5?
All right, Giannis.
He's got Magic.
Okay, I agree.
Brett 17.
Did you say KD already?
I said KD.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett.
Yes. Dirk.
Oscar Robertson.
Absolutely.
Dirk.
Yes.
I'm sliding this player down. Kind of going to say no.
Just
And
say
you
it.
know who this is. Dwayne Wade.
I'm taking D Wade.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just David Robinson.
No.
Not
Did you
David.
say Tim Duncan?
He did.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm gonna say no.
That one's close.
I'd rather
But then
Kawhi.
The next
Maybe
name was
Pop.
Chris
Maybe.
Paul. That's why I slid down.
Maybe
a little
Pyle.
That's also a maybe. Chris Paul's a maybe.
Are you factoring longevity? Because Chris Paul.
Bit. So we're at
comfortably,
21
yeah.
names.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Moses Malone.
You gotta respect the legend.
So yes. Scottie Pippen.
I'm
He said
taking.
no.
I'm taking Kawhi.
Are you taking Kawhi over Moses Malone?
No.
Okay. Because I high key would.
It's conversation.
Yeah.
Moses was a legend for his
Yeah.
time.
Maybe.
I would actually take Kawhi over Moses Malone.
I
myself.
mean, listen, I respect that because then you're giving me a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But I think Moses and his era and
Yeah.
his
He was a dog.
time was genuine amazing.
the next few names are Hondo, Charles Barkley,
Who?
Hondo?
John Havlicek.
Oh, dude, I didn't know his nickname.
No,
I'll be
Legend.
honest.
That's a legend.
Why the fuck is Jerry West 16?
that's a legend.
I got him
All-time
17.
leading scorer.
Shame on me for not
D-Wade?
knowing Havlicek's.
Where's D Wade for
You
me?
had D-Wade in the 20s.
Oh yeah, I have D Wade.
Come on, brother.
No, he's inside the top.
Where's
20.
SGA?
I didn't
God.
include Shea. but
I'm going
No, my-
crazy.
Loki top 30. He's nuts, man.
my list is not finished.
He's on his.
Oh. He's
All
on his way.
This isn't like
100%.
I spent
Keep going. No, I'm
a
with you.
month
I'm
or
with you.
so.
Keep
I
going.
spent
That's fine.
a week or so on this. Not even. So Shea would be another name.
Okay.
As of right now, still give me Kawhi.
Yeah.
But continue.
Okay. This is where my list ends. So you have,
Where's Wemby?
including Moses Malone and Charles Barkley, to say yes or no. Kawhi or Charles Barkley?
Ooh.
God,
That one is
the ultimate underdog.
That's sneaky. Jerry fucking West.
AD.
Am I insane to say Charles? I'm not.
You're
I'm
not insane to say
I'm
Charles.
not.
At all.
I'm not.
Not at
But
all.
he's a choker. All timer. Like one of the best ever. One of the best to ever
One of the best
do it.
chokers ever.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do
Okay.
it.
I have some more names
It's a
for you.
coin flip. You can catch me on the wrong day.
There's some names for you I got.
No, I think I lean Charles.
Charles?
Fuck, dude. I don't know. That's the toughest one.
I would go Charles
My
Barkley.
dad would roll over right now.
No, I
so
would go
sick of
Charles
me.
Barkley.
He loves Charles Barkley.
James Harden.
I'm going Kawhi.
That's the name I
I
had
would
in the
take
ad.
Kawhi personally.
Okay.
Kawhi longevity.
Isaiah Thomas.
I would go Kawhi.
Okay, I agree with you. And the last few names are like Bob Pettit, Rick Barry.
Old Thomas.
Rib,
Yeah.
you cracking me up, bro.
Well, you rolled your eyes. Yo, you saying Jerry West is not top 5 point guard of all time is one of your worst
All
takes
right,
of
all
all
right.
time.
No. Here.
Magic,
Yes.
Steph, Chris Paul comfortably.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you counting Oscar Robertson as a point guard?
Yes, you
that's
should.
four.
And then Isaiah Thomas. End it.
Isaiah Thomas is not higher
I'll
than
put Steve
Jerry
Nash
West.
over Jerry West.
Okay, I would have Jerry above him though, in respect.
So then
Wait,
it's
wait,
not.
wait,
They
wait,
gave that
it's
man
not-
the first
Why-
Finals MVP
why-
after his team lost. That's
Why
how
is
it
not
is.
Isaiah
crazy then?
Thomas
Because
under
He
Jerry
ran in the
West?
same. He literally ran in the best dynasty.
But you
in
just
the
admitted
John.
it's not crazy
Wait,
already,
wait.
John.
Okay, we're rolling over
No,
this way too
I think
quick.
it's a little crazy to have Isaiah Thomas over.
No, I
Jerry
said
West.
Nash.
No, why
Oh.
is it crazy? Isaiah was the best player on a back-to-back.
Those teams were disgusting too.
Joe Dumars won Finals MVP. You
The
ain't
next
even know
year,
that.
those teams were disgusting. They were
Against the
loaded.
Lakers, he won the Finals MVP.
I
loaded.
think so. Yeah. It was the second. Was it the second time?
But
Yeah,
he
it
won the
was time.
second one.
Second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they beat the Lakers both times in the finals?
No, they lost the first time.
No.
They had the crazy. They called.
Who'd
a
they go
phantom
back-to-back
foul
on is
Bill-
what I'm wondering.
Bill,
I think
Laimbeer
they beat Boston twice.
No. Okay. Well,
No.
in the
Well,
finals,
in the-
who did they beat?
in Portland.
Was it Portland?
They
Lakers.
beat Portland and the Lakers.
They definitely beat the Lakers. I
Yeah.
know that.
That I know they beat the
I
Lakers.
don't remember if they might have
'Cause
been.
I
Well,
know-
because Magic got hurt, so they got swept. The Lakers got swept, and they beat Portland in 6 games. I want to say, or 5 games. Portland won, I think it was game 2, and the Pistons ripped off 4 wins.
Shout out to them
Let me
Pistons.
pull this up.
I mean,
They were
what was
deep.
disgusting about that team,
Yeah,
John?
they swept that team after Kareem.
Aguirre.
Bro, that team was loaded.
Oh, no, it was
Mar-
amazing.
You had Joe
Aguirre,
Dumars,
yes.
Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, Dennis Rodman,
Yes.
Bill Laimbeer. You had Rick Mahorn.
Staley, whatever.
Yeah, John. Yeah, they had him off the bench, and they also had Vinnie Johnson too. Like that team
was a-
is
it
one
was
of
a
the
great
most
roster for its
loaded
time.
rosters.
and Isaiah
and
was
he was
the
their best player.
and is their leading all-time scorer still.
Isaiah was nice.
He's
Man.
not better than Jerry West all time.
Jerry West is playing in the 60s.
That man,
We got him, man. We got a
he was
plumber hater.
given Finals MVP in a series, didn't even win.
LeBron
pretty
should have
elite.
did that too.
He in the
Excuse
first,
me.
bless you, first Finals MVP of all time.
I mean,
That's
there's no blueprint.
They said he was the most valuable player in his team.
They don't, but they don't know that. You said it's the first finals.
I'll be honest with you, Jerry
First
West
and last,
probably
right?
hates that
Got it
trophy.
for losing.
Rest in peace, Jerry. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Jerry West is the definitive top 5 point guard of all time.
No, definitive, strong.
At their best, Jerry West, James Harden.
Damn. He's going nuts.
It's just so different eras and
yeah.
play
I'm just
styles.
wondering.
And
I'm
what,
really
like, they play
wondering.
one-on-one. Who wins?
I'm wondering.
Jerry's
I
get
get it.
smoked.
John, I'm wondering.
I'll take Jared, by the way.
All right,
I'll take Jared.
bro.
No, I mean, John, listen, I think obviously I'm with you, but yeah, it's just
the shit
it's
that
different
Harden
eras
was
and
able
shit's
to
just
do
impossible.
with the
It
advancements
was
in
illegal
basketball.
when Jerry West was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yo,
is
my God,
illegal.
you
You
couldn't
couldn't
do
even do
this.
it in an outro.
Yeah, illegal.
So you're saying
They
that
really
me
crippled
saying
players.
James Harden kind of has your brain playing Twister right now?
I want to get back to this list.
The answer is yes.
Those Piston teams were so good though.
They were amazing.
Also, that's why they won the title.
You're like Kawhi is like rats that top 25 for you. It seems like.
All right, so
Yeah.
so my take is good.
Yeah, I said that top 30.
I just want to put
I'm
it to
gonna
the
beat you
test.
up.
When did you put this list together? Was this last year?
This was probably during one of my
Dude,
flights, bro.
We were on a flight to
Vegas, was it?
Vegas, and bro was making a football list like a wire, like
What are you gonna
every
do?
position,
Trip to
bro.
San Francisco.
I ranked every single position.
Bro, he was killing
Every
me, bro.
position?
Every single
even like
position.
I'll
left
be honest.
tackle.
Sunday we're giving you a couple edibles. See what you come up with.
Bro, he was going nuts, bro.
Can't wait to see John in San Fran, man.
Get
Now we're
offensive
getting
guards.
freaky.
You sleeping in my room again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you saying the most diabolical stuff.
He said you had a tight ass.
You said you had a clean.
That's what he said, actually.
Oh
That
shit!
shit was insane.
This high Q wild. Secondly,
What?
totally fabricated.
That your ass isn't clean.
You got a dirty butt?
No, not that.
Yeah,
What?
Joe,
I don't know where he's getting this information from.
They
About
what?
what?
what do you say?
Your ass?
In Vegas.
What happened to Vegas? Stays in Vegas.
I don't need to entertain this anymore than that was the word I was lacking earlier in the show. I'm like, the word I'm trying to get is it was entertained.
Oh, okay.
I'm not entertaining this, but that never happened.
With me and you,
You
San
guys stay
Fran.
together because I'm working while I'm out there. I need a room
Wait,
for myself.
wait,
and I'm
wait,
there.
wait,
So you guys need to.
wait.
I'm gonna be
cuddle
doing
up.
some homework
Wait,
too.
I got it.
No,
wait,
we'll be
wait, you
roommates.
leaning over the
I'm
bed?
worried about this guy.
Did you remember when he was leaning in the chair?
How could I ever forget that?
That shit.
No, that
fucking
video, that
fried
picture.
me,
No, I
bro.
did that on purpose.
And mind you, I was, bro, before I took the flight, I was laughing for 10 minutes. I was just looking at him laughing, mad
I was-
silent too. I didn't
I
want
was
to
clip
move,
farming.
bro.
I was
clip
clip
farming?
farming. Yeah.
Bro,
You were tooting your ass for what reason?
telling you, bro, he knows how to position himself.
No.
I'm not entertaining this, bro.
John, we're getting freaky in San Fran, bro.
We are,
getting-
bro, and I'm getting drunk.
We're getting wicked.
I was just trying to make things interesting. That was all that was.
What does that mean?
Got him.
No.
What do you mean by interesting?
Zing.
I was farming for a clip, and I got it.
You
So I
did get
succeeded.
it. But the thing is, you were so like you were like looking at your phone
so
or something. It's
comfortable.
not like you were like looking or like you know what I mean. You were kind of doing your own thing.
What's wrong with being nonchalant? Intentionally.
Not wrong with that. You're right. Not wrong with
Yeah.
that. I'm excited for this trip, man. Do you have anything else to say about the Hornets? Because this kind of got off topic.
They're a good team, and we're excited to watch them.
No, I'm dead ass. I love them, and it breaks my heart that I
You're
finally
early.
was defeated.
You're
like
early.
I just can't trust they're gonna stay healthy.
Yeah,
I got defeated.
the Nets combos were pretty crazy.
Yo, Igor Demon.
I wasn't high on them.
He's
but
been good.
Igor Demon's second most threes by a rookie this year.
behind Con.
Who
Igor
has the
Demon.
most? Who has the most points by a rookie this season?
Derek.
Trey Johnson.
And be con.
I actually don't. I think I'm lying. But I do think the answer is Caleb Love.
Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
think-
He
I
played
think
in
I'm
limited
lying.
games.
Points?
Limited games.
I'm lying. I forget what it is that
it
he
per
has.
game?
wait, point? No, total.
No.
He's
he has-
averaging 11 a game.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm lying.
By the way,
Yeah,
Con
total, I
is-
don't think it'd be the
it's
case.
halftime. Con is 5 threes. He's 8 threes away from being top 10 all time, passing Steph in threes by a rookie, and it's
There you
game,
go.
It's game 48.
There you go. There you go, Con. Get him up.
It's just the list of players. StatMuse kind of baited me. Rookies with 400 plus points this season.
Okay.
Caleb Love. Everybody else, lottery pick.
There we
Got
go.
you. Got you.
They just put his name at the top. But yes, he's been awesome. No way around it. I love that for him. What was the comment you just made about Con?
He had at halftime their game tonight 5 of 6 from 3. He's 8 threes away from being top 10 all time and passing Steph in threes for a rookie.
My lord.
And it's game 48. He's
So
game
what?
top 10 all time.
Just maybe one more quick thing about the Hornets before we move on. We're talking about them potentially making a move next, like an offseason away. What move do you guys think that is? What type of player?
I think even if they can go make a little small move, like go get a Herb Jones at the deadline. Charlotte.
That's not small though.
Yeah, in a sense of where you're building your team up for next season.
I
You know
get
what
I
mean?
don't look at Herb as the solution
I don't
because of
mean-
his injuries
No,
and then
whoa,
also
whoa,
the
whoa,
3-point
whoa.
shooting.
The solution ain't gonna happen. I'm saying just
Okay.
build it. Like
Build
build it.
it.
If you
I
could
agree with you.
for the right price, grab them. Like
You need a wing or a. Because I think of Charlotte, I feel like it is extremely unfortunate that the pick was Saluan because I think they nailed the position they needed.
Yeah.
Wrong player.
And I like Zion
Should've been
James for
nice.
sure. I think Zion James is a good energy guy. I just think if you can make a little small move, if you can get Giannis, right? You still got that Colin Sexton contract lingering. Try to go see if you can grab somebody for 2-3 years that's going to be on this roster, an impact player. Or maybe you can go get another draft pick, just to shore up this roster. Because I do think they're a really good offseason away from being a real competitive team, but like 2 off seasons away from competing unless they bring in a superstar, unless Khan and LaMelo make another jump.
Yeah.
And
Did
it's
you
like,
say
oh, shit.
Kaminga?
No, I was gonna
I hope
say
not.
it does feel like
I don't even have nothing I want.
No, not Kuminga. It does feel like though a perimeter defender that they could bring in alongside LaMelo and these guys
100%.
is the
They need
move.
that.
Obviously, everyone in the NBA is looking for a perimeter defender who can shoot. So I mean, they're not the only one.
Well, that's a perfect way to segue into what could be the last topic on the show. Buyers or sellers? Buyers and sellers, I should say. Which team do you think are buyers? Which team do you think are sellers? Now, we can start with the selling because I feel like that's a little bit less interesting of a conversation. We'll get to the buyers after. But in terms of sellers, do we immediately just go to the bottom dwellers? Or are there any teams that have been successful right now that you think should sell while the stocks are high?
I don't know why all these players were deemed untouchable, but it should be the Pelicans. They should be selling, build around DQ and
because they saw the
and
game with
fears.
the Pelicans versus the Spurs,
Yeah.
and you saw.
Yeah, but it's
you
like
saw
it gets to a point, man.
what
like,
happens when that man's on the court.
And they traded their pick, so it's like top 3 protected, so they need to be like abysmal. I think that's a team that should have sold. Obviously, Sacramento is going to be a team that sells. It's a guy that's been on Detroit's radar has been Malik Monk. Somebody who can bring in instant offense. I think that'd be cool. You don't have to worry about defense because you have a defensive foundation around you. A team like Sacramento, when Sabonis comes back, trying to find the avenue to get him somewhere. I know he's going to be a hard player to move. He's not really portable, but I do think he still has some game. He's still an all-star level player. Guy like Zach LaVine maybe called Detroit, we got an instant bucket for you, swing and
We
get
thought
him.
that would be the move for them last year.
For sure, and now they're like on bigger and better moves. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, definitely a player like DeMar. I still think you can get something for just an instant spark off the bench. And then Chicago, like I saw they were trying to be buyers for Anthony Davis. They don't really have much to sell, but I would like them to explore Kobe White, being traded. That's a guy making $12 million a year, so that's cheap. And I don't think you're gonna pay him. I don't think you're gonna extend them. A guy like Ayo Dosunmu is also another guy that maybe they can try and sell and get a good price from. He's been playing some really good high level basketball in a role-playing role. But yeah, those are just a couple teams.
Let me ask you a question.
I would answer.
You're the Pistons.
I love them.
You know you need another creator.
I do.
You're not going to be bad enough, obviously.
I cannot.
But would you trade, knowing that the Pistons have kind of sat on their assets for
Yes,
a
we
long
have.
time,
We got a good amount.
knowing that this is a youth movement that they're trying to continue,
Yep.
do you trade future assets for one of those top 3 picks next season?
If I know it's so you're asking me, the top 3 picks are already established.
Establish the teams that are going to have the 1, 2, and 3. Would you trade for pick 3 if you are the Boston Celtics? Do you think? Because I'm not sure.
Oh, if I'm the Celtics.
No, did I? If I said Celtics, I
okay.
apologize. Detroit
Okay.
solely, because again, this is a team that has really ascended while remaining extremely youthful.
Yeah.
Their oldest player is Tobias Harris. After that, I think it's
Javonte Green.
okay. Okay,
I'm just-
facts.
okay,
No,
fine.
fine.
Duncan
fine.
Robinson's
But
32.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Duncan
That's
Robinson.
of one of those contributors, high level
Yeah.
contributors. They've been a youth movement.
Yeah.
Do you see them being one of those teams that could do something extreme like that? Because hardly ever do we see a team make a drastic move
Yeah.
at the draft.
I think, first of all, I love Detroit's patience with the process.
100%.
I think trusting in what they had last year, going into the offseason, making marginal moves, bringing in Duncan Robinson to kind of replace Malik Beasley, grabbing guys that, scrappy guys like Javonte Green.
Under the radar move, too.
I think that was the important part. And then just relying on the youth movement, like you said. I think that's a tricky situation because you're talking about trading number 3 pick so you can go bring in a bona fide star and a bona fide scorer, so which means, in my opinion, you're only talking about AJ or DP. And if that's the case, I think they go 1 and 2. So I wouldn't make the deal because you don't need Cam Boozer. I don't think that would be the guy you go get. Now, granted, obviously, if the deal's sitting in your hand, you're probably like, oh, well, we kind of can't not take it, you know. But I do also think a team with the number 3 pick, they don't want Detroit's pick. This is a team that's probably going to be in the playoffs. They need, unless you had like a top 10 pick guarantee, like, all right, give us that pick and like 2 other first, we'll take it. I think Detroit's avenue is vet star paired with their young star. Make it work. I think that's their avenue. Trade if possible. If not, pray and hope that these other guys can continue to step up. You have Duren, who's going to be your front court star. You have Cade, that's your superstar. Who can you grab? Can it be a Devin Booker? Can it be a Giannis? You know, can it be a small star like Jaren Jackson Jr. for the right price? Like, it really is all going to depend. You know, can you find your Jaylen Brown to your Jayson Tatum? And I think that's the avenue. They're going to continue to build around the margins, continue to develop well. But I think their move is going to be trade for a vet star.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Maybe we can make this a little bit more interesting. Outside of MPJ and the Brooklyn Nets, who is the best player that can be sold at the deadline?
Jaren Jackson. Anthony Davis, which is constantly thrown around. Giannis, and I would say the other name is Lauri Markkanen.
Giannis now getting brought into play is fair, fine. Let's take Giannis out of this
I
conversation.
don't think he gets moved at the deadline.
That's
Okay.
I think
so.
all
You think this is off season?
similar to Kevin Durant a few years ago, where it's like, is he going to get traded now? And I would look at all these buyers saying, let's make this move in the offseason.
He'll have 1 year left.
But then
in the offseason.
also,
Plus the player options,
Yeah.
true.
but I think
kind of have an
also
extension
if you're
in place
Giannis, well, we're gonna waste another year of my career.
Well, he already committed to the team before the season. It's his
No,
responsibility,
absolutely.
you know?
But I'm saying that in the sense like they're gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
He's
No,
injured.
they're not good.
Maybe he's injured, but
not
maybe it's
good with
also
him.
like, what am I going to go out there and just
yeah, it feels
play
like
empty
he plays
basketball?
last game as a Buck, even if he doesn't. You know, even if he plays again.
I get you. I feel like Jaren is an excellent name to shout as a seller, but I also feel like if you can get
I mean, Duren is the perfect center to play for him to play with.
Jaren,
Yeah,
100%.
he's the guy that's you don't have to. You got to rebound, obviously, but you don't have to worry about it because Duren's gonna get all those rebounds. And on top of that, Duren's the bruiser. Now Jaren can really play out in the perimeter. Yeah. He just has to find that 3-point stroke, be consistent with it. But Duren would be, and now you can have him as the roamer. Duren can guard the 5. Like he would be like guys like him. Jared Allen, obviously, Sabonis, like these guys are like the perfect centers because they do all the center stuff that Jaren just can't do at this point.
And do you think that, because I know that they say that they're committed to him, but Lauri has been excellent
It's been
this
awesome.
season. And I feel like Utah, yes, they're in the business of keeping their guys, but I feel like with the ascension of Keontae George, I like the way that Isaiah Collier leads the ship there too. Yeah. There's a little bit of a youth movement going on there too, and I think if you're Utah, you need to maximize the opportunity that you have with Lauri Markkanen. And I think that there is no more pluggable player in the NBA that is this available than Lauri Markkanen. I think Lauri Markkanen in Detroit
it'd be fire.
I feel like their move was to do it before the
price,
contracts because he's making what's over 50.
I think it's 40.
I think 40. I thought it was
40. See, that's why Detroit. So they're
50.
For the right price, they'll probably do it. But like you mentioned, $40 million. Utah, day and age is probably going to ask for like 3 firsts.
Ask for everything.
But is it not the most perfect player next to Cade?
I think in a perfect world, yeah.
Is there a bet like genuinely?
But then I'd just go cheaper route for MPJ.
Who's a better fit?
I love Lauri.
I would rather Lauri.
I would, but I would go cheap. If it's those two players, do I want to attach myself to 40
now,
million?
do you have to give up an arm and a leg for Lauri Markkanen?
I think Danny Ainge asked for it.
I don't think you're wrong.
I think he will.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bummer. I really want Lauri off of Utah.
Does Detroit go call about Kawhi?
That would be nuts,
bro.
But why
my
would the Clippers
bags
move him? They don't have the picks. That'd be tough.
Nah, they don't. But that's why I think you could still get a lot of picks for him.
For sure, yeah.
I
The way
was
he's
look
playing right
what
now.
KD was just traded for.
Well, no, it's more so why were the Clippers giving up without
those are all
owning their
seconds,
future? You know,
yeah,
that's a good point.
Big thing that I was meaning to say, which I'm now
big is
losing. Lauri Markkanen is 28 years old.
Yeah.
By the time that this Jazz core hits its peak,
Exactly.
he's going to be 32, 33.
Exactly.
It makes no sense to the Jazz to hold him longer and longer. I know Danny Ainge loves maximizing his assets, but to me, this makes a lot more sense to trade him to a place like maybe Detroit, maybe it's Phoenix, which I like a lot, next to Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks. So I feel like at some point, Jazz has got to pull the plug.
yeah.
what do you want the Lakers to do?
Have you noticed that I've talked about them
Not
less and
once.
less, like less and less.
This is the least I've ever talked about the Lakers on this show.
It's a fact.
In the chat too.
I really
Nah, you be saying LeBron stuff in the chat. Yo, you still
It's
watch?
just LeBron.
The
It's just
fourth
LeBron
quarter
stuff.
yeah. sent today.
No, it's because Joel genuinely aggravates the shit out of me saying that he's washed.
Do you think he's washed, John? LeBron?
No, LeBron struggled because he didn't play basketball for like 2 months.
getting
And
back
he
into
also
the
struggled
rhythm.
because he was playing the odd man out to Reeves and Luka because he's a good teammate.
Yeah, they're both positives when they're on separately.
I know.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
They played amazingly together against now, albeit Chicago.
Lakers are
But
in a confusing
we
spot.
did get
man.
smoked against the Cavs.
They blew you out.
Oh my God, bro, it was so bad.
Belt. At least
But
Bronny got in the game.
what do I want my Lakers to do? I want them to do nothing.
Just let it ride out.
This is a dead year.
It kind of is.
I say dead year where we're gonna be a top 6 team,
A plus offseason.
guaranteed. We're gonna Aiden when he plays well, we win. All right,
How many times is that in the
I
year?
mean, you are
undefeated
29
when he's
wins?
double, whatever it is. Never-
Still, that record's still going.
I think yes. Nevertheless,
He had a 14-9 game and they lost.
that shit is real. Nevertheless, you ride out with what we have. If there's an option for us to get Giannis, hey, get it done.
Let's keep it pushing.
Get Giannis. Reeves for
Yeah, if you could hypnotize their GM like you did with Buddy in Dallas.
seen crazier
Yeah.
things. But trying to be serious, I think that the Lakers' best idea is to do nothing. Hold your assets for this offseason. Let LeBron decide what he wants to do, whether that is retire, whether that is go back to Cleveland, whether that's go to wherever the hell he wants to go. Let LeBron do what he wants, and then you have more money to whether that's extend Reeves, even though I'm against that because I think that the Luka Reeves combination, depending on how the rest of the roster looks, I question. But if the rest of the roster is conducive to having both Reeves and Luka together, then hey, I'm on board. We were playing winning basketball with the two of them, and the rest of the roster obviously isn't the greatest counterparts to those two and their deficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wise for us to sit and wait because this year with Luka, LeBron, we're gonna play really well at times. We're gonna have some lows because their defense can bottom out and we can get blown out by another team, and especially if our offense isn't clicking. Because again, if we're not scoring the basketball at a high level, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be bad. We're not going to be bad. We're going to be a top 6 team. We're going to hit the playoffs. Maybe we win a playoff series depending on matchup. We're not beating the Thunder. We're not beating the Nuggets. We probably won't beat Minnesota again.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this out loud.
Houston's not that good.
The Clippers scare me.
I know you love the Clippers, but I don't think you'll probably match up with them. given
The
season.
Spurs, I think we could beat them.
Out of the teams you've named, Houston too. I don't know that last night, the Houston Spurs game, that was ugly in the fourth quarter for Houston.
So Wemby got his dunk over Amon in transition.
Mhm.
Bro, Amon had this crazy yam in the half court.
Yeah.
I don't know who I think he was on either Champagne or it was Keldon, one of the two. Bro, he violated.
Go ass, man.
Sengun actually might be garbage, but
Now, he's a really good player. It's just the offense, the scoring. Oh my, it's so like.
But it's just so funny when you see the difference in level in certain players and matchups. Like you saw it on full display in that second half, how much dramatically better Wemby is than Sengun. And I wanted you to hear me this morning, Riv, because you were Kevin Durant. Good defensive performance against Wemby, man. Nice.
That game he did.
Is that Dick Riding? Like, I feel like that's
Nice defense, bro. Really good.
You know how he feels about Wemby.
Yeah, like,
This
what's
is
When
his
the
team.
fuck have you ever praised Kevin Durant?
Well, that's was good defense. I was shocked.
You sent it because Wemby had a dog shit game.
No, it was literally shocking that Kevin Durant locked him up.
I just wanted to let you know that Wemby got his lick back, and the fourth quarter was excellent. Just the offense as a whole for the Houston died in the second
I think
half.
they finished 3 of 22 in the fourth quarter.
All right, I did bookmark this stats. So Wemby's fourth quarter stats last night: 13 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, a steal. The Rockets in the fourth quarter.
They were awful.
13 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block, 3 steals.
Bro, it was
Holy
bad.
shit.
It was
Kevin Durant
terrible.
wasn't guarding him this game. It was
Stephon Castle. Oh my God, he was.
Why were they putting Amen on Wemby too, bro? Like,
because
They're
it works.
trying shit,
It
yeah.
works. Like, it ain't gonna work. Like, it ain't gonna work when other
just
teams
shoot right
try.
over the fucking top.
Once he missed the dunk, and then he had, I think, the bad turnover, he stopped shooting.
Yo, Wemby's also shooting 38% from 3 this year.
Nice.
That's good with you, bro?
Yeah, that's
Let
amazing.
me ask you, that's good?
It's amazing. You know he's gonna not be eligible for any awards.
Damn, that's fucked up.
What a fucking dickhead, man.
hate
Yo,
to see
you're
it.
going to hell.
You hate to see it. No
That's
DPOY for you.
He's the best in the fucking game.
yeah.
Does this Rockets team scares me a little bit in a bad sense?
I hate that I'm falling off. It's
like-
because I thought Sengun would be better.
The bummer
They
was
are.
Sengun.
The offense, but the half court offense is
It's
still
a bit-
just
Remember
bad.
opening night, Shingun?
Also, no DFS is a
When he hit
bummer.
5 threes versus the Thunder, it's like, all right, like
Yeah,
now
yeah,
he's adding
yeah.
this touch to his game.
fact,
He's hit
John.
like 15
He
threes
has
the
no
rest of the year.
touch. He's everything
it
is
felt like his
everything is
efficiency's boo-boo.
bully. It's
We
bad.
got a glimpse they took that like step forward in a touch element in the offseason, and we just haven't seen that translate.
Also, DFS
is
being banged up
they
is
needed.
also a bummer because
Steven
that was
Adams is
supposed
out now.
And then Fred VanVleet, like
Fred-
Fred was
Tari's
going
missing
to
time,
benefit
too.
the
He's been
most
good.
from Kevin Durant outside of Amen for the obvious, because there was going to be a lot more spacing for him that he could be something more than just a 3-point shooter.
Amen got to shoot it even if that shit ain't going in.
I know,
Like,
man.
Brother,
I know.
Or
They're leaving
Ime,
him wide
take
the
him
fuck
out.
open in the mid range.
Like Ime, take him out.
or at least just
No,
you have to have
no.
him
You have
involved in
to.
You
action.
can't.
You have to.
You for his confidence, you simply cannot.
No, but you
And
can't
last
keep him
night's
out there.
game, you probably should have.
You can't keep him. He kept him out there for too long.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it was too long. Like yo, take him out, reel him back in. Yo, brother, I need you to shoot that midi. Like,
It's
I need
just
you
when you have Wemby out there, it's so easy. Like what's
Wemby was he's hesitating.
It's
Wemby
a horrible
blocking and
matchup
shit,
for the
bro.
Rockets.
Terrible.
Let's just
Bro,
be
it's
genuine.
bad.
It's a like they got them the first time they matched up, but in all reality, that is the worst case scenario matchup for the Rockets come playoff time. Not the
Yeah,
obvious.
because you have a man out there. Wemby's like, all right, I'm just gonna sit
Camp.
my ass in the
I'm
paint.
And then
camping paint.
they put
me.
Castle
And
right on
unless
Shingun.
KD goes for 35 every single night, which
He was guarding
Castle was
Shingun. He was
a
guarding
possibility.
KD. He had a few possessions in that fourth quarter where KD couldn't fucking
No, he
dribble
was
the ball.
Castle was special. Like Castle, Wemby special. It was like a 1-2 punch defensively in the
And
fourth. It was
Harper
ridiculous.
had a couple nice layups.
No,
too
Harper
to
came
close
in
out
and ended the game.
Yeah.
so should the Spurs be buyers or they need to stand packed?
Oh, wait a year.
I wouldn't be a buyer
They shouldn't be either. I agree.
because I would not trade Dylan Harper.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
no. I
whoa!
I would
Unless
not.
it's
don't think
Giannis,
I don't think that's a thought in the
untouchable.
room in San
Well, that's what
Antonio.
I'm saying. Like, I would not want to trade Dylan
Nah,
Harper.
wait a year and see how it looks.
Because every package you see for the Spurs making a win now move involves Dylan Harper, and he's
What's the
I
win
don't,
now move?
I don't
then?
call many players untouchable like Giannis. I don't call
Oh,
many
well-
players untouchable. I would not be
Well,
looking.
bro, if it's Giannis, you don't.
Well, they're definitely they're calling.
That's what but like if it's Giannis, he's gone.
It's probably Castle. Castle's been struggling
I'm not-
on offense.
If it's Giannis, he's gone.
I'm not going to make that trade and feel good about trading Dylan Harper.
Oh no, you won't feel good. It was just like trading away. Well, I guess that the terrible example. This is kind of what you're saying when OKC traded away SGA for Paul George.
Yes, that's
Okay,
the exact way that I feel.
okay, but SGA obviously. Like, how often do we see this?
Not very often, but Dylan Harper coming off the bench and he's like an embarrassment of riches for the Spurs.
Without a
it's
doubt.
eerily reminiscent of James Harden, Oklahoma City.
Also, I
'Cause
wanna-
he would have been the first overall pick for a reason. He's one of the most gifted
Oh,
offensive
for sure, it's my
players.
guy.
Yeah.
I also will say he played a huge part in closing out that game last night too.
Who?
Castle. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
Harper.
Harper.
Yeah, he closed it.
Bro, his
just came in,
ability.
it was like 4 straight.
his ability to get downhill.
His finishing's crazy.
Holy, yo, he finished on KD crazy on the
it
opposite
was tough.
side.
He had
And on
an
Tari,
and
too.
one
Oh,
on
that's
OD.
great,
KD.
yeah.
Yeah, there was back-to-back possessions. KD, I think,
They
gave
just
up
couldn't
and
fuck with
ones.
the Spurs that night.
Also,
honestly.
it was pretty interesting to watch down the stretch of the game where Wemby's on the bench and the Rockets. I mean, the Spurs just kept piling on.
Yeah.
And mainly because
The Rockets
of
were
Harper.
defeated, bro.
Nah, they were, bro. They wanted the game to end really bad,
they were
which is
defeated.
interesting because first half they were frying.
Yeah, they were defeated,
yeah.
bro.
Oh, tough game for them. Tough matchup.
So are the Rockets the team that should be a buyer?
They can't buy anything.
You really? What can you buy?
They can't move anything.
Well, they
Well,
do have picks still.
Taking
they're on the
Dorian
second-
Finney-Smith's salary.
You have to exactly match. I
That's
think
why
they're over
they're
the
only
second apron.
shooters.
Yeah.
You can't trade Dorian.
He hasn't been healthy. It's
That's
Oh,
it. You can't.
And I keep the picks they have, low key.
I would too.
still got some of the Suns picks, right?
Yeah. And I think, yes. Because you traded the Nets pick back.
Yeah.
So yeah, just got some picks.
Yeah, but that's why when we talked about the KD trade, it's just like it's tough because they could go out in the first round, and it's just like you still do the trade, but it's like it's just not enough. You know what I mean? Like the team, it's just the way it's constructed, the way that Şengün has been able to.
Yeah, they're
to
young though.
shoot.
You know?
Yeah. It's weird because they're so young, and KD's like the window for KD is like this
Short,
big. It's a
super
small
short.
window because of his age, and it's tough.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, rapid fire. I'm gonna throw teams at you. You tell me buyers or sellers.
Okay.
All right.
Detroit Pistons,
Buyers.
Clear buyer.
Yeah, definitely buyer.
Cavaliers,
Buyers.
I think they're forced to be buyers because if it doesn't work, this offseason feels like a pretty massive retool. I don't know if I'll call it a rebuild, but yeah, this feels like the trade deadline to go and try to make at least
they found
one.
something
Definitely
with Tyson.
not sellers. Yeah, Tyson's been great.
Yeah, they found something.
He's
with
been
Tyson.
really playing
And then
well.
hopefully, don't know when Max Strus ever is going to play. But
Yeah.
whenever he decides to play.
Cavs are circumstantial, but you want to make that big splash to hopefully
Trey Lonzo.
keep
Who wants
Yeah.
that?
Somebody.
Atlanta,
sellers.
Sellers.
Yeah. It's been tough for Atlanta. Yeah, probably sellers.
Knicks,
Small buyers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you probably stand pat. I don't know what move you could really make.
Maybe try to get a backup 5 if you can.
okay.
Yeah.
That's why small buyers.
Maybe just insurance for Mitch.
Yep.
Is there like a realistic trade package? for
Question:
Giannis? I don't
Is
see it.
Jakob Poeltl attainable?
He's 18 mil.
Is that a
That's
lot?
attainable.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
not
If,
a
I don't
lot.
know if the Knicks have
For
money
a
to
starting
move.
center, it's not a lot.
And I think
Who the Knicks can you move for that? That's the thing. It's about finding the contract.
how much
for
is
it.
money? How much money is Josh making?
About 14.
Is that nuts for me to say, Josh?
No.
Josh, he's
Like
he's
respect to Josh, that's like the Bulls trading Charles Oakley.
low key. Yeah, for
You know what I
Jakob Poeltl,
mean?
I don't think they'd move Josh.
Josh is 19.
Oh, it's 19. That might.
So,
yeah.
all right,
yeah.
the Raptors, buyers or sellers?
They're buyers.
Yeah.
But
They're-
they should consolidate some of their youth in the process of being a buyer.
All right, West teams, OKC.
Buyers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not selling. Buyers stand pat. I lean buy just because, like you said earlier, just stack the deck, man. Like even if it's not
Go with some
Giannis.
shooters,
They could blow
please.
12 picks down the drain, have another 24. So I mean,
Clippers.
Buyers just because they don't have a future, but I also don't know what they could buy. John Collins.
much
was
more
playing
can
really
they
great.
buy?
Kawhi.
there's going to be a certain point
Stand
where
pat.
they're going to have to eventually be
Hopefully,
a seller.
Derrick Jones comes back. I mean, the pieces are there. I don't know if they could really buy, but they shouldn't sell.
Clippers are a seller, really. Like
see.
they're just postponing the fact they're going to have to
Eventually,
sell down the line.
yeah.
Minnesota.
Still buyers. I think they need a
Yeah.
guard.
Yes,
I agree,
I definitely
100%.
definitely need a point guard.
Memphis.
Sellers.
Sellers.
Yeah, I think Jaren, they should be looking to see the market quietly on Jaren.
Is Memphis the biggest seller of all teams in the league?
No, because
Probably
they're
like
not
top
trading
3.
Ja. I don't see them making.
Well, if
a
they
trade
trade
big-
Jaren, I'd argue they are because then in 1 year they would have traded Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson.
I think Sacramento's going to be sellers.
Do they?
It's truly incredible how much talent they have on their team. They're
Keon.
12 and
He
37.
was number one on Polymarket, I think, in terms
was. He
of
was.
trade odds. Keon Ellis.
Oh, yeah. Which he's just $2 million.
Yeah, he's making nothing.
All right, fellas. Well, listen, that's going to do it from us. Unless you guys have anything else to add.
Jimmy Butler.
Come out to San Fran.
Show love in San Fran.
We love people, especially me. I'm a nice guy. I talk to everybody.
He goes a lot of ways, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord knows.
Yeah, please.
Well-
like I said, come the first hour.
Well, that's going to do it from us over here at the Big Side Podcast, episode 549.
550 in San Fran. Nice.
550 in San Fran's firm. I think that's pretty fitting. But if you want to show some love to us, show love to our sponsor, Polymarket, use code PICKASIDE. If you aren't already, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at PickAside Podcast, on Twitter at PickAside Pod, on Facebook as well, PickAside Podcast. We appreciate the love that you
We
guys
love
show
Facebook.
us, and we will see you guys next time.